Whiteboard.
Finally. Hold on. Read my lips. Rejoice.
Yeah. Rejoice. Alrighty. Alrighty. Yeah, we'll get started on UFF. So we were absolutely spitting fire for the last like 3 minutes. So just know everything that we said, fully accurate.
Yeah, best casting of all time. Just saying. Like,
Yeah,
kind of a shame we missed it, just a little bit.
Yeah. So kind of what we were talking about. So a little bit of a different format going on in the March Open qualifiers. So in the previous one, so we had the draft where it was a blind ban phase. In this new format, it's going to be more of a snake ban. So there's going to be 4 Pokemon that are going to be off the table. One team's going to ban one. The other team's going to know exactly what was banned. So they're not, hopefully, you're not going to ban the same Pokemon again. So they're going to be, along with the EX Pokemon that are not available to be played, there are going to be 4 Pokemon that are going to be banned from each match. So a little bit different. Excited to see what the teams are going to be doing. So far, we have 7DS along with Team UFF that we're going to be covering today. So it's been a little bit since we've been able to cover some of UFF matches. I believe the last time that we got to see them were in the Weakness League playoffs. So a little bit of some changes to kind of some play styles. So I'm really excited to see what they do. They're going to be taking on in this first round matchup against GTT Unova. Not super familiar with the team. I'm kind of looking at the bracket. You can hit ! bracket if you do want to see that. But BB Tan, Sasuke Zilla, Spooky Season, Bowser, and GTT Ninja. Not quite familiar with.
No way.
Yeah, hopefully not like the real Bowser, but
The real Bowser would be evil. That would be bad. But yeah, we're also looking at like a very kind of, this patch has been very odd for the kind of scheme of competitive Pokemon Unite, you know? And like just in general, I've seen a ton of weird kind of bugs, and remind me, Kyle, is there gonna be like any bans on those like strangely bugged Pokemon like Mimikyu or Umbreon?
I didn't see. So, like, on the event page, the only Pokemon that are listed for bans are the EX Pokemon. I was perusing the Discord as well to see if they gave any updates on any additional bans, but right now it does look like the official schedule on the Start GG page just lists the EX Pokemon. So for everything that I know, it doesn't look like it's anything other than those standard EX. But looks like we got a match, UFF versus GTT. Game 1, they're loading on in right now.
I am seeing a couple of familiar faces on my screen right now, and it looks like we got Joe and Slepa going top lane. Slepa actually opting for Meowscarada this time, and I said it correctly before production yells at me. Going to back to that top lane that she loves so much, and I see Joe up there with the Umbreon. Not a double evolution, sadly. I love seeing maybe.
Yeah, and here in this jungle for the enemy team of GTT, they're going to have Clef and Cinderace help farm along, try to get both characters online here pretty quickly. But we do have a Glaceon that's starting to make their way towards the top path. 4 members of GTT are starting to make their way maybe towards this bottom path. A little bit of trading on both sides on this top lane. We do have a Sylveon that has finally gotten online for GTT, and they do have 4 members down here, so looking to make an early siege on this bottom path.
Yeah, and they do not want to let that. Rapid does not want to get knocked out by this onslaught of moves incoming early. This forward push is starting to just try to take as much far as possible, and it looks like here comes is that Cassette from the Glaceon? That's a short hit move there, but doesn't quite get any goes down there. but that's a huge pick from Pina down there.
Yeah, uses the eject button to get that KO. That was absolutely massive. It looks like UFF is going to take this W in this bottom path. Might back up here. I like the pick of the Crustle for Rapid. One of my favorite Pokemon to play right now. That Rock Tomb build is so good. And I didn't get to see what items that she was running, if she was running any sort of cursed item. I wouldn't doubt it, especially when you have a Clefable that offers so much healing. Having the stealth rocks help kind of nerf some of that healing would be actually pretty big. Looks like Slepa is able to get a ton of stacks. She's already at that Meowscarada stage in this top path. It's 51-0 here at the 8-minute mark, Bounce.
Yeah, and that is a huge evolution to get Meowscarada up early, especially with only Squirtle up there in the top lane. And you can see right there is exactly why, with Slepa getting that early pick there and scoring a little bit more points, getting a lot more stacks. And incoming Joe coming down into the bot lane. And then Clefairy has been separated and picked off from its entire team. And then here comes one more into the reboot as well.
Yeah, that's huge right there, getting a couple KOs early. Those Rock Tombs are absolutely huge right now. And a trap to boot, and there they go. A big pick on Sylveon, and this Phantump is going to be the next victim. Another huge Rock Tomb, and Rapid is absolutely cooking with this Crustle right now, Bounce.
The walls are going up. They are getting nowhere away, and they're just going to keep pushing this bot first objective, and continuously are just going to keep popping points until looks like they're gonna break that first level already with 7 minutes to go.
Yeah, 158-0 here. Basement Reggie is a Regirock, dun dun dun, and it looks like UFF is in huge position to get this. Team GTT, they're eating soup with forks right now. They are struggle bussing. They are going to head towards this top path, probably try to get this Regilecki, but
it's a huge secure
that.
Enormous
Wow,
there. Wow. And both objectives going to UFF, and that's a huge start to go on early. Wow, it looks like Regilecki's going to go down, but it still doesn't matter. That's 2 more picks for UFF. Regilecki is living on a 1 HP in a dream right now. And Regilecki's still up, not anymore, but it looks like they're going to force that ult from Sylveon there. Umbreon getting in there. Joe, going to take this pick off on that Cinderace. It's just a 2v1 at this point. There goes another fire spin up there from Pina, but Joe is going to barely get away from there. Oh my goodness. Submit that clip. Crunches, I know you're watching right now. Put it in the video.
Yeah, that was huge. I don't know how Joe got there, but here we go. Fireworks are up and on the goal. UFF is going to siege and take the opportunity to crash this goal. They leave it on 3, but not for long because a nice 40 dunk. That's, if I'm doing my math correctly, Bounce, that's a 37 overcap.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can look at the score right now, 252 on the first 2 goal zones and a little bit into the second one on the bot lane, but that is still a lot of points to be scored from an initial 200, especially that 50 over cap. That could be huge in the long run.
Yeah, here we go. 252-0. Big old goose egg on the side of GTT right now. Joe Meow and team looking to be on this bottom path. Looks like they might be setting up for this basement, Reggie. Actually, kind of a little bit of a split push going on. 2 members on the top, 3 members of UFF on the bottom. I think it looks like GTT is all going to be heading towards this top path, try to take the Regilecki and maybe push a goal. It looks like Meowscarada and Slepa do see that happening. Oh, a nice Rock Tomb by Crustle, able to kind of help. But we got actually the X's or Rubble Rouser going to come up, try to stun out the team. And we have a Floral Flourish that does a ton of damage, doesn't quite get the KO, but it stalls enough time. Looks like UFF is going to probably also take this bottom. Nice KO by Crustle, and GTT, they just can't get anything going right now, Bounce.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate because you can see that Trevenant right now and Clefable Trevenant, Clefable, and Blastoise are all pretty significantly behind in levels, and being your people that you want to take damage instead of the people who are your squishies, being your attackers, being your Sylveon, being your Cinderace over there. You want your tanks to be in front, to be taking that damage, but they can't really get that if as soon as they get in there, tank a little bit of damage, it means that they're probably going to get KO'd.
Absolutely. Cinderace uses that blazing bicycle kick, doesn't quite get the secure that they're looking for, but they're finding out the hard way about how broken is Glaceon. They do steal that red buff. They said that is our red buff. They get the Regieleki. That's going to push towards that tier 2 goal. Let's see what the girls want to do. Obviously, that basement path is gone here. They might look to push this. Rock Tomb does come out. They do have a jump pad, does GTT. Icicle stage has been set, throwing some icicle spears in there. Oh, that's absolutely crazy. And UFF might get their hands caught in the cookie jar. Blastoise goes down. 4 members down. It looks like they've gotten everything that they've wanted here. But the Phantom Forest does stop that Regieleki from going in, but they are only delaying the inevitable. This goal is also going down, Bounce.
It did not matter. That ult caught everybody in it, but UFF are high enough level and close enough to get that much burst damage instantly as soon as they recover from that stun. It is getting a little out of control at the current moment, but Rapid does not look like that she wants to let it go to waste, and it continues in, and it looks like Joe is thinking about the exact same thing, only getting lost to that what is that? Is that the synchronize? Is that a moonlight debuff or whatever the passive is? Just only losing that in the long run, and there's still no confrontation at the current moment with looks like a Reggie just getting up until the end game begins. 30 seconds less than actually to Rayquaza, and UFF's going to take another Reggie from GTT here, but they're going to start setting up in the Ray Pit.
Yeah, here we go. 15 seconds till Rayquaza spawns. Both of the tier 1 goals are still up for UFF. No goals up for GTT. They're going to need this Rayquaza if they do want to win this match. So far, the girls are looking really strong here, but scrimmage lines are being set. We got a Rayquaza on the map.
And there is the shiny little things there that show you that it is the Black Rayquaza. It is the shiny form. It's the newest form of Rayquaza in the game. And it looks like nobody's really gonna make any confrontations here. Slepa sitting in the bush right next to 3 members of the opposing team. But in reality, does UFF really need to push this Ray that hard? They just need to hold their positions and make sure they get those early picks. And it looks like that is going to be a huge amount of damage on the Trevenant, but barely surviving and going straight into the arms of the Moon Baby, who gets them back at least to around 3/4 health and back out full there with the Moonlight. There's only 1:15 left in the match, and it looks like UFF are continuing to just hold this zone area. They're not trying to push too hard and get caught out. And of course, everybody's still got their ultimates on deck. And it looks like that Glaceon's gonna get caught out first, but ult's away.
Wow. Yeah, Fairy Frolic is up, keeps the Sylveon alive, but they're only delaying an inevitable. 2 members down for GTT. It's double KO for Cass on that Glaceon, looking for a third, and it's going to be that Trevenant. Trevenant goes down. 3 members down for GTT, and this might just be all but it for this match, because Cinder has no ability to get some health here. Sylveon also down. UFF, they don't have to touch this Rayquaza. They're just going to hold and hold true. They know they have a gigantic lead right now, and that's exactly what they're gonna do. 20 seconds left, and this one looks all but over from the looks of it, Bounce.
We're talking about those walls that Rapid Key's putting up, but Joe is running just as much of a wall at the current moment in that area. Trying to go for a back cab's unfortunately gonna get Cinderace KO'd here. Rayquaza is going to stay up in the Thea Sky Ruins. That is a post-game capture apparently. And it looks like UFF's going to, at a good margin, take this first game here.
Yeah, what a huge play. Really just all game. 418-30, you see the final there. Looking at these numbers all across the board, there's some crazy numbers going on. Looking all around the board, GTT only 4 KOs total all game. Cass getting 14 on that Glaceon. How broken is Icicle Spear right now? We got looking at the damage numbers all around.
I can feel the new comments on Spraggles' video about Glaceon just coming out right now, because there has to be so many haters of this character right now.
And look bands too, since we didn't get to see the band screen just because of the way that these are casted. So it looks like UFF banned Buzz, Leafeon, and GTT banned Hoopa Desi. Interesting Desi ban. To me, Decidueye is not really a Pokemon that gets a ton of bans. So I wonder if that was more of a, kind of a target ban, maybe trying to take that away from either Pina or Cass. I'm sure that they've seen both of those ladies play the Pokemon and both very proficient with it. So, yeah, I'm wondering if that was more of a target ban, because, yeah, you don't typically see Decidueye banned in this competitive format.
I'm also kind of thinking that that even so as a target ban, I don't really remember many UFF attackers really being that kind of pick, unless unless it really feels like a situational kind of thing. Because I mostly am seeing like other ranged attackers like all at Ninetales from UFF, especially like Cassiopeia.
Yeah, I've seen Pina and Cass both rock the Decidueye. I believe in Underdunk, both of them had run it in I think actually the same set. We had two different games. One Cass ran it in the jungle, and then one I believe Pina ran it in lane. So they both make it look really strong. So very seems like a target ban. Seems like it. But
Yeah,
game one goes to UFF, so I'm happy with that.
Especially if they are uncomfortable playing as Decidueye, like it does take down a very, very dangerous kind of sniper character in this comp as well.
Absolutely. Oh man, yeah, game one, pretty strong showing there. Really opening up this tournament. I'm looking at kind of some of the around the pool. So they are in pool 2. Overall, looking at some of the teams that they might be facing up if they are able to get another dub here in game number 2 or 3, they would end up being able to go against, it looks like Everstone. And Everstone, pretty strong Pokemon, but it looks like we got another game going on.
Yes, we do. It looks like two just going with the floppy boy. There is a Magikarp on the field. I am very excited for this game now. as a Gyarados main myself. Oh, there's a second one. There's two. We got two floppy boys.
What? What? This isn't a UCS game then, because you can't have two Gyarados.
Yeah, you're right. Wait, what happened here?
Yeah, what is going on here? Oh, got it.
That's
oh no.
God.
Okay.
Start.gg.
So we just got
fix your fucking website, man.
So we got some news. Unfortunately, 7DS got DQ'd in their winners game against Fellows United. So Fellows United is going to go play on Wolves United. 7DS is filling some time before their losers bracket match. But it looks like we will have UFF here hopefully shortly in game number 2. But like I was saying before, UFF, if they do win, they would end up taking on Team Everstone. And knowing what I know that Pina is going to be licking her chops to try to get a dub against Everstone. Played against a lot of these players: Emotional Aid, Blame J, Titanium TTV, and Mystic GG. In customs and in a mutual friend / streamers custom series. So I know that she's going to want to try to get some bragging rights against them. So hopefully UFF can get another dub here in game number 2 and move on in their side of the bracket. So yeah, unfortunate turn of events for 7DS though.
Yeah, if what we're hearing is true and StartGG was bugging as it, I would not be surprised if it genuinely is, because that website is terrible. Second day in a row, there's an event that I am at least a part of where the entire Start.gg website sucks. Fix your website. Fix your website. Like, or somebody out there, please create a website where tournaments can be held and it not suck.
Yeah.
That
It's
is,
not the
oh,
best.
that's so
It's not the
unfortunate.
best.
It is.
It's not the
That
best.
is a. As a competitor in every sense, that kills me, man. Like, I don't think anybody would be happy with that, and especially like just because like the website's the website. It's an online qualifier. It happens like that. Like, there's not much else we can do because they already started their match. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
it is a it's a rough go, but we
Rough go
you
indeed.
take them on the chin and you move on. You know.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, it's the only thing you can do, unfortunately, and luckily it is a double elimination bracket, so they do have a chance to go down and move quite a bit of ways away through the loser's side of the bracket. So nothing to be too scared about, right? I think they'll be fine. They'll end up playing the loser of AI, which I believe. Taking a peeky peek here. Looks like that would be. Where is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, team. Oh, the loser of Team YT versus either Anomaly or Pokemaniacs.
Ah.
Um, I'm looking at Anomaly. Anomaly is actually a team that played and did pretty well in the last Underdunk. Got to see them play a little bit and pretty good showing. But looks like we got game number 2 here, Bounce. A little bit
Yeah.
similar of a team comp.
Similar, very similar. Clefable is out instead of the Umbreon this time for Miss Joe Meow down there. Slep is back on that Meowscarada, and and looks like Kess is going right back to that most likely Fire Spin Delphox. We got an Alolan Ninetales on the field as well as a we got Phantom. It's gonna be a Trevenant, but right now it's a Phantom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I'm seeing 3 EVs on the side of GTT. A little concern there. Obviously, a lot of EVs are pretty problematic right now. Obviously, you saw in game number 1, UFF able to get 2 of them themselves and do a lot of damage there. But Florgato already online. Slepa using this Meowscarada. I haven't actually had a chance to see her play a lot of this, so this is
And
actually really
spin
exciting.
dancing, UTS dancing, baby. Let's go.
We do have
Oh my
some dancing.
goodness. But yeah, I assume most likely that Crustle got banned for UFF during this one, so Rapid most likely had to be the one to get
Oof.
taken into a different character, and that's gonna be an early KO. The character swap already looking terrible.
Oh yeah, that's not ideal there. Ooh, but Umbreon not quite able to get online. These boosted attacks might get a KO here on Umbreon, but oh, there comes the Mimikyu, able to put a stop to any thought of getting that KO. Pina not able to get online with that level 4 evolved quite yet, Bounce.
Yeah, I mean Mimikyu is into this current comp. I think Mimikyu is actually pretty solid, especially with all the amount of jumping you can get on. And early on, getting Shadow Claw this early is very helpful for not only a self sustain but does a ton of damage.
Mm-hmm, yeah, but it looks like they do a little bit of trading in this top path. UFF taking full advantage of only 2 characters. They still don't have a Espeon, but as I say that, Espeon gets evolved. 72-2, so they maybe have lost a little bit on that bottom path, but overall, I think if you're UFF, you're pretty happy with how the first laning phase goes.
So far, yeah, but they just don't want to let that. They do not want to let Mimikyu and or Sylveon get too far ahead. Already at level 7 for each of them, but fortunately, Slepa is also level 7 at the current moment. As is a Rabbit, or is it Pina? It's on or it's Kess. My fault.
Kess is on the Delphox. Pina is on that Alolan Ninetales. But all
Kess is on
5
it.
members of GTT are here at this bottom path, allowing Slepa to get every little bit of farm and any stacks that she wants, and maybe even be able to get that Regieleki once that spawns. So very interesting to completely abandon the lane. It looks like they do want to siege this bottom path, these birds, and everything that's down here.
Yeah, to me, that's a little bit of a mistake because if you get caught out, like it looks a little bit like they are at the current moment, that's 2 in there, and that's another KO there for Kess. That's a KO there for Pina, and like this is what I'm talking about. It became not more of a oh, we need to fight it as a 5 down here, and they got caught out in a bit of an out of position area. And Slepa's going to go destroy this top lane while getting up to level 9, where there is 3 Pokemon on GTT who are still level 5. Meowscarada is
Hmm.
a dangerous Pokemon to let snowball into that high level area. And
Yeah.
regardless of if Joe was not here, it would probably be over for Pina, which it is at the current
Wow.
moment. But it's probably going to get that KO on that Sliggoo. There's still 2 up here. That Regice is going to go down to the Mimikyu, and this is what I'm talking about. Mimikyu can do a ton of damage in the right hands. That ult's going to go directly onto Rapid there. Mimikyu's going to start moving
Huh.
out. Oh, or not. He's going to stay in and continue to fight it, but it looks like that was going to be a huge mistake there, and Mimikyu is going to maybe and does get
No,
knocked out
it's
there by Slepa.
yeah, that
Oy,
flower
oy,
trick
oy. That's
getting a huge bit
self-sustained.
of KFO. Yeah, it does have a bit of self-sustain. Weird choice on the Unite onto the Trevenant. Usually, if you're a Mimikyu, you usually want to use that Play with Me Unite move on something a little bit more glassy, maybe like that Meowscarada or Delphox or the Alolan Ninetales. Not really the Trevenant. That's probably the worst target that you can have, mainly because it's just so tanky. It's not going to get the KO that you want.
Yeah, I like personally the way that I use it and whenever I play this character is I always try to target the character that's the most difficult to deal with in either the early game or whatever whoever has the hardest ult to deal with because of that instant elimination of that factor.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, Espeon's ult just turns into a little bit of a nightmare, which is not what Espeon's supposed to be about. Espeon's supposed to be the sun. That was supposed to be Umbreon's job.
Wow. That's a
Mimikyu's
huge
still
fanciful
alive.
fireworks onto tier 2 goal. UFF trying to take advantage of the lack of jump pad here. Phantom Force also hitting on top, but UFF sees that all the 5 members of GTT are here and they're able to walk away without a scratch. They do get a couple of points into that tier 2. But however, they did use a bit of their Unite move real estate and no member except okay, as I say that, Floral Flourish is up and available for Slepa on this Meowscarada, but that's it as far as Unite moves for UFF for these next objectives.
Yeah, I mean, like you can also see the level of disparity starting up again, where if Slepa being the speedster that she's playing at the current moment, she hops on a squishy. That's most likely going to be a hard KO, and looks like Mimikyu is just going to keep trying to take on this all by himself. Still, he hops on Joe with another. I like calling it "Let's snuggle together," but Slepa's instantly going to start moving right back. But it looks like GTT is going to get some points on the board. The double team is out and down on the bottom lane. Pina is going to take that Reggie steal. But UFF have lost their first goal zone in this set so far, and GTT taking it pretty well to get out of there.
Yeah, but UFF counter scores another 53 on that bottom tier goal, knowing exactly who is all up at that top path, and they still get a pick off on this Gudra. They have a chance to get this Lecky. They unfortunately do have to give that up. Mimikyu now using that Shadow Sneak does get the KO on Cass. Wonder Wish rolls a block, but that Wish turns a little bit foul because that Clef does go down there. It's 292 to 111 here at the 330 mark. Probably the last chance to use some of those Unite moves before this Rayquaza.
Yeah, and this is a scary position for Mimikyu to be, because if you play Mimikyu as an assassin type character in this game, you are just waiting in bushes for your perfect opportunity to take out a squishy. And it looks like that not only is their tank on UFF the most under-leveled in comparison to the rest of the team, oh, as I'm saying that, can Rapid get out of this situation? Horn leeching away and
She's
instantly
able.
back into the arms of Joe in here, which is gonna spin around on her and say, "You're healing. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good."
Heal me, my fairy, heal me. Yeah, that's
Heal me,
a
moon
huge.
baby.
That's why you play Trevenant. So tanky, has that Horn Leech able to kind of get out of dodge. But yeah, here we go. 225 left in this match. 25 seconds until this Rayquaza. We got some fire spins working for Cass, and they're maybe looking to position to see what this bot Reggie is. Both teams kind of hanging out on this bot path. I don't know if that's going to be the fight to pick, but I'm not sure what GTT is thinking. Okay, they do end up backing away and start kind of heading towards this middle Ray fight. And here we go. Shiny Rayquaza is on the map, and UFF has a nice size lead going into this Ray fight.
Yeah, I mean, it was a Reggie Ice. If you couldn't tell by the cry, you need to figure out the cries. That is it. Probably the least important Reggie on the bot lane, especially because Reggie Rock and Reggie Steel give out some pretty good buffs. So Reggie Ice alone isn't necessarily something you need to risk something super hard over. GTT is that a pick there for GTT or
No, it
I
was the
just missed
clone
someone.
on the Meowscarada, but Fanciful Fireworks
Meowscarada.
does get the pick on
Oh
Mimikyu.
my
2 3
goodness.
members down.
Oh my
That was a huge Fanciful Fireworks. That's a
It's a
team wipe.
Holy!
UFF taking this one, and they're going to turn and burn this Rayquaza because there is nobody on the side of GTT that can stop the inevitable game 2 win for UFF, and they're going to be going on to round number 2, Bounce.
We love to see it, and it came down to perfectly isolating characters a little bit one by one there, and then once the fireworks came out, catching 2 or 3 of them in it, it was just GG's.
Let's talk about that Meowscarada play a little bit. So not only did it
Oh
fool
my
the
goodness.
entire team of GTT, it fooled us too
It
because
fooled,
we
it
were
fooled
like,
me at least.
that was huge. So using that double team clone on Meowscarada, it looked like a lot of the cooldowns on GTT got wasted there, and from there UFF just kind of opened that, gave away their positioning, and you saw the Fanciful Fireworks come out, and it was pretty much GG's from there because
There's
I couldn't
another
tell,
one incoming.
yeah, this is all but over 10 seconds left. Not enough time on the clock. Not enough money in their pockets. UFF, they're going on to round number 2.
That's a tremendous push from UFF on those lat ray fight. They didn't need it last time, but they absolutely did their jobs on this one. They again. I got fooled on that Masquerada double team. I was thinking that that Slep was getting picked off in that scenario, but tell me how I'm supposed to do my job here because I got fooled and they continue to just wipe the entirety of GTT, taking that game with another solid victory, 554 to 111.
Yeah, that's awesome to see. Love to see it. UFF is going to take on Team Everstone in round number 2. But before that, let's look at some of these numbers. Huge damage numbers. Cast 92k on that Delphox jungle. Pina 51k on the Alolan Ninetales. But Slepa doing 52k herself, kind of being just a pest to GTT. You saw use of that double team. I don't know about you, Bounce, but I love this newfound character for Slepa. Meowscarada, the state that it's in right now is just so good. The Unite move's really good. The kind of jukes that you can use on that double team, it seems really strong, and it kind of suits Slepa's playstyle. So excited to see her play that, as we move forward in these rounds.
As sad as I am to see the Lufion kind of get a little bit of a backseat, yeah, it's a very, very good character for the way that Slepa plays. Also, want to mention the amount of healing from Joe Meow out there, hitting the 100,000 mark there, probably saving a lot of UFF pushes in that. Just spinning and winning as she does. That's our support over there.
Yeah, that was we love to see it. Love to see everything that they were able to do. We do have I think this should be another just random match for 7DS, I imagine, because I don't believe any of their games have started yet. Yeah, looks like Anomaly did go on against Pokemaniacs. So Team YT is taking on Anomaly. The loser of that round is going to be taking on 7DS. I believe that match is going to be starting soon. What else do we have going on around the bracket? Team Everstone versus Unite. I'm trying to look at kind of some of what's going on here. Team Only Friends going to be taking on Exile. They go on. So a lot of kind of no surprises going on. A lot of the teams that should win have kind of started to win some of their matches as we're moving on through this bracket.
Yeah, nothing super interesting as of yet, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just hasn't been anything to be like, whoa, what's going on over here yet. But
Hmm.
I'm hoping that that 7DS are at least in the in a little bit of a better mental space, because I know it can be absolutely frustrating to get DQ'd because of software errors and not necessarily because of, or not because of an actual loss to your name. And I'm not
Hmm.
gonna lie, that positioning for that positioning for their losers bracket is a bit of a rough one too. Um, Especially because there's a potential of playing Team YT, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Team IT is obviously very strong. Went to Worlds last year. Anomaly, I'll be interested to see what Anomaly does. So that team is filled up with some pretty strong players. I'm not sure if Harambe is playing. I know he is on that team. Um, I'm not sure if he's playing today, but I know that team is very strong. Saw them in the Underdunk tournament do really well. Trying to see. I know Team White T has kind of gone under some changes to their overall roster. So we'll see if 7DS is going to play Team YouTube or Anomaly. I guess we'll see. Time will tell.
Exactly. I mean,
Time will tell. Time will tell.
we are simply waiting a little bit. But I mean, we can also talk a little bit about this recent patch. You know, where there's a ton of things that have changed from the last UCS qualifier, and it's not necessarily just because of the EX Pokemon. There's a ton of Pokemon that got either buffs, nerfs, reworks, and one of those that I kind of wanted to focus on was what was Trevenant, because a lot of people were a little disappointed about that Woodhammer getting a lot of nerfs in this recent patch, from losing almost an entire second of cooldown. And
Hmm.
then the other moveset, which is the Curse Pain Split moveset, seeming to be the preferred one by Pokemon Unite players this current season.
Yeah, it's I've played a little bit against it, and then also with it since the patch. Woodhammer still. I don't want anybody to think that it's not strong, because it is still very strong, very oppressive. It just kind of got a little bit of a balance. It's still, though, the amount of utility that it provides. Obviously, a little bit less damage, but the amount of displacement and the knockups that it offers, still pretty oppressive, especially if you're able to get a few members of the enemy team in it. But yeah, the new kind of preferred moveset of that Pain Split and Curse, very strong. It kind of I've seen it played a little bit, kind of like in like that top lane all rounder spot, because it offers a lot of damage. Not only that, a lot of damage, a lot of sustain.
So, and then the next thing I wanted to kind of poke on is something that we're seeing at the current moment, is that Delphox Fire Spin.
Mm.
I know a lot of people preferred the other move set, but at the current moment, Fire Spin seems to be the way. Especially with that increase, with it being I believe 27-ish%, and a
Hmm.
cooldown decrease of almost an entire second, if not a full second. Uh, it just seems so much more impressive, and we saw it in the last game with the with the UFF, where it just did so much work in containing a lot of pushes from GTT.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like you said, we saw it. We saw it in both matches, run by both Pina and Cass. The amount of cooldown, I think, not only um, I think both of them ran Fire Blast, if I'm not mistaken. I think Mystical Fire still has some play with that. Fire Blast a little bit more forgiving on the we'll call it the girth of the cast
Oh
of
my
the move.
god.
This is the Pandicorn channel. We're gonna call it. It's a little bit girthier than
Nah,
Mystical Fire. Mystical
you're right.
Fire
You're
has a
right.
little bit more length, but offers that cooldown reduction. Um, So I think Mystical Fire is still going to be pretty strong, but Fire Blast still very very good. A little bit. You do have to be a little bit more cautious of how you play Fire Blast, because you do have to be a little bit more in the action, opposed to that Mystical Fire.
Mhm. I mean, yeah, it definitely feels like that Delphox kind of won this patch, regardless of which moveset you're kind of running, because the other one was still solid, and then they just made Fire Spin extremely good as well.
Hmm.
And there's also there were a couple of bug fixes that I saw in the patch notes, but I also know that there was a ton of things that just didn't work correctly, including this like invincibility glitch that consistently happens. Uh, I've seen Umbreon and Mimikyu both be the perpetrators of this. And
Hmm.
I'm just hoping that we don't have to have a situation in an official UCS where a player just completely becomes invincible, impossible to kill for no
Yeah,
reason.
if it does happen, that is something that can be logged by the admins, though. So if they do that, then obviously the players would get disqualified for bug abuse. But hopefully, yeah, we don't have to see anything like that. Unfortunate that it is something that has and can happen in these matches, but yeah, looks like getting some intel that UFF is in a match and the match is available. So if we're able to exit out of this game and get on over there, that'd be lovely.
Holy UFF! Also, shout out Kimmy Cat. Look at her go.
Yeah, Kimmy absolutely killing the observing work today. Here we go. Game number one. We have UFF versus Team Everstone.
Actually, you
Looking
were
at the
right.
comp over here, yeah,
You were right
yeah.
about that target ban. It looks like we got the best owl in the game over here. Coming in, Pina pulling out the Rowlet slash Decidueye. Rapid's gone back onto the Crustal once more. I don't think we have to. I don't think we have to question who are on the other ones now, because we know it's Joe and Slepa going up top, and we know it's Kess in
Yeah.
the mid.
Absolutely. Yeah, Pino rocking that lane owl. Looks to be a stacking owl as she's going to go try to grab a stack early on. Able to do exactly that. Squirtle on the side of Everstone also able to get a stack in. Jomiel, however, looking to maybe slow down the stacking of it. Pina able to get a couple of stacks, it looks like, and now just using that basic attack to try to keep this Crustal alive. Does exactly that. Grabs a berry. And UFF holds on a little bit early before these 850 birds come available.
Yeah, big get down, Mrs. President moment there from from Pina saving Rapid from getting hit by that Mew boosted auto, and it looks like they're gonna get pushed a little bit, but get instantly pushed them immediately right back off, and kind of looking a little bit of a stalemate in here from both of these lanes, waiting for these birds to go up. At the top lane, they've got Hoopa up there supporting these two, Ivysaur and Blastoise, two very strong Pokemon in this current meta as well. And Ivysaur's gonna move off and start moving towards that center area. Back on the bot lane, we still got Mew
Mm-hmm.
pressuring this area a little bit. Kessa, or sorry,
Ooh.
Pina is still on that rally down there, but this Mew looking like could possibly get knocked out here, but it's just enough away where it's too risky to keep pushing that.
Yeah, and a thing of note too is something I notice about this Venusaur as Pina does get evolved into this Dartrix. Venusaur did not go and get their full jungle before making their way towards that top path. So very interesting tech there. Usually you see that more so with the Eevees that evolve at level 4, but as you saw it here on that Bulbasaur, where 8-minute birds are up in the center. We have a little bit of a team fight going on. Woodhammer onto the side of UFF does connect, but ooh, that solar beam from Mew misses the mark, and a little bit of trading here, but Pina is going to get caught out of position by that Trevenant gets the KO. Pina does get a stack in, it looked like, so not all for nothing, but level 6 going to need to get a little bit of farm here so she can get that full owl in that Decidueye online here, but 720 birds are going to be spawning in both lanes, Bounce.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get those levels a little bit quickly here, because that Dartrix is a walking target for that Trevenant in there. Starting another little bit of a team fight in there, and Mew's gonna take that KO on Rapid in there. Down the defender on the bot lane, we still got Joe, we still got Pina, we still got Kess in there, and looks like Kess is gonna move back into her jungle to try to take the rest of that On top, it's just Meowscarada and Blastoise duking it out every once in a while. But on the bot lane, they've started this Registeel and instantly pops in there. This Hoopa is running a lot of a lot of divergence here for for Exile, and that's going to be the Registeel secured down there, almost getting caught by that
Oof.
Solar Beam and incoming rescue Joe one more time.
Yeah, UFO is going to have to be very careful here. Looks like Everstone not only has a level advantage, they do have that buff to their attack and special attack. But they know that that Hoopa portal is on cooldown, so they're going to try to siege this bottom goal. But it's sussed out by Everstone. This Trevenant and Venus are both here, and UFF is going to have to back away. X Scissor does push them away, at least for the time being. A little bit of an eject burned there by Pina right as Rapid goes down. And level 8 for Pina, trying to get online, getting that knock Unite online, has a nice connection onto that Trevenant, but not quite enough damage because that Trevenant is tanky, like we discussed in that.
What a read there from Cass to pull the fireworks when nobody's in those bushes, knowing they directly come back to that. It wasn't necessarily the biggest ult, but wow, is that a read?
Yeah, that was very heads up play there by Cass, and they're looking to do a little bit more damage. That Regieleki goes down, does not push into the goal. You have a Hoopa on the side of Everstone, so I fully think that the girls are going to try to look towards a lane and pick it, and maybe try to, kind of cool down that Hoopa from being able to kind of take advantage of the macro that it has with being able to transport the team fully down from into the lane, because when both tier 1 goals are up for a Hoopa, it's just so hard to do anything, especially when the Hoopa is very aware of where everybody is on the map.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, Hoopa being able to transport characters over and over again is a huge strength of the character. But then again, if you can catch it on the right cooldown, you are essentially pulling whoever's in that area either into something, or you're making sure they can't get it. But on the bot lane, it looks like that's going to be a beam secure. Not for UFF this time. Pete is going to take a ton of still more damage, and it looks like they're going to start pushing that bot lane real hard. Slepin trying to get the eject button in there, chasing down this Venusaur. Going to get that KO there, right there. And it looks like Mew and Hoop are going to start moving out of here and collecting these birds for oh god, why do I forget their name?
Everstone. I got you, Fred. Yeah, 4-minute mark, 81-28. Both tier 1 goals are still up for Everstone. So again, as we go later and later into this match with both these goals up, it's going to be harder for the girls to try to push a goal. But they're looking to push this tier 1 goal on this bottom side path, and a nice Rubble Rouser gets a help from the team. 2 members down, Phantom Fireworks are out. So anybody that comes in is going to be getting a ton of damage. On top of them, Blastoise uses that Hydro Typhoon, knocks up 3 members of UFF, and 2 members end up going down, but not before.
Oh, well done, Joe.
Well done, Joe. Not a huge overcap, but able to break that goal. That is absolutely massive for the girls right now, as they do take that point lead as well, Bounce.
Yeah, being able to break that first tier is important as hell at the current moment. Hoopa's already been doing a ton of damage with the support at the current moment, and getting rid of that instantly cripples Hoopa's usefulness for at least a little bit of it. It's still like they still got that top goal, but there's no more being able to get directly down from each objective to each objective anymore.
Yeah, girls are also going to have to be a little bit careful, because that top Regieleki did go into that tier 2, so that tier 2 goal on that top path is going to be a little bit low, so they're going to have to make sure to kind of watch that, because if Hoopa is able to have a free home base at Ray, there may be a win con for that. So it's just something to pay attention to if you're UFF. But we do have 230. We have a basement Reggie here that has just spawned here, and it is a Reggie Ice.
Yeah, I mean, Regice is not the most important one of these to win, but it would be a nice little bit more XP going into that Ray fight for UFF. Not really behind in the levels department at all, but that little bit of healing would be also useful as hell.
Yeah, levels are looking pretty strong on the UFF side. The level 13 on both Meowscarada and Delphox. Decidueye not quite at 13 yet, but I imagine Pina is going to be looking to get ticked into that very shortly. Double beam on the side of Everstone, so this Clef is going to have their work cut out for him. Joe Meow is going to have to heal a lot, especially when these beams start to connect.
Yeah, and that has been the kind of the name of the game, the entirety of it. Where while they've been pushing, there's always somebody with a beam on standby, ready to just take somebody out. UFF are most likely going to be the ones that are going to have to take on this Rayquaza rip. But right in here, we got Mew into a wall, but instantly blocked off by a barrier. Rubber Rousers coming out, incoming the Blastoise. Incoming the Blastoise ult, gonna take how many of those on
Oh,
UFM's at 3? There comes another Hoopa ult, and Blastoise is gonna get out of that alive. Hoopa's at a low health too, but Joe seems to be the only one in this pit right now, and Slepa's the only one left. Gets the Hoopa, but
yeah,
doesn't
that's
really seem that's gonna be enough.
absolutely massive. Oh, the Hoopa able to send Mew back home. Unfortunately, Slepa is the only one out, but that's a
And
KO
that's a
streak of
Penta!
5. Oh, that's a penta for that Mew, and that's not it. That's not what you want to see if you're UFF, especially now that you're going to have this Trevenant that's going to be able to get a Hundo Burger in that basement pass. So that's going to put them up 295 to 89. 30 seconds left. This Rayquaza is going to have to start being ripped by UFF, and I believe that's what they're looking to do right here.
Yeah, man, it has to go soon because now incoming another Trevenant in there, blocking off two, and there goes Kess from another Solar Beam from Mew. It's just beam after beam after beam in this entire game so far, and it's working very well for Everstone. And it looks like it's going to be them taking
Oof.
this first match over UFF by a considerable margin there after that big 100 score at the end of the game.
Yeah, that's game one going over to Team Everstone, like you said. That big that Penta KO by Mew was kind of clutch, exactly what they needed at that Ray fight. It kind of got dragged out for a little bit. Looking at the numbers here, 11 KOs for emotional aid, and oof, yeah, that's pretty rough there. It's not quite what you want to see on the side of UFF. They did not let Pina Mew and emotional aid. They took advantage of that Mew.
Emotional aid put me in some emotional distress over here, getting 11 KOs in a relatively low KO game in here as well. And it was really up to the mixture of the beams and the Hoopa support early on really let them kind of run away with this, especially because of how
Hmm.
well they covered each goal zone pretty well for the most of the first half of this game as well. Either having
Yeah.
Titanium be able to go down there or Emotional run up to the top lane and beam them when they're trying to score points.
Yeah, and looking at the bans here, so obviously, again, we not able to see the banning phase just based on how this tournament is run, but look like Everstone banning two Eevees, the Glaceon and that Umbreon. Buzzwole and Leafeon were banned by UFF, so kind of standard bans to see, across the board. You typically see those Pokemon banned just with how kind of busted they are, especially in the current meta with no EXs. You gotta wonder if you're UFF, if you see something like this starting to happen again, if you just go out and ban that Hoopa. It seemed like they're kind of having a hard time dealing with it. Um, they weren't kind of able to play their game. The way that UFF and kind of what they do really well is kind of pushing those goals when they kind of get into that mid to late game part, and they couldn't do it. That Hoopa was watching those goals like a hawk, and anytime the UFF tried to push it, Hoopa sent some of the team down, and they just couldn't play their game. So I fully expect them, next match to probably look to ban that Hoopa. So I don't know. What are your thoughts about that game number one?
I mean, they went with the same bands they went with last time. It kind of looked like that they chose the Leafeon and the Buzzwole again. But it really looked like that they more struggled with that ranged area than they did with the up close in that match, and and for good reason because that Hoopa again is
Mhm.
also an enormous problem. And absolutely, I think that their first choice should be getting rid of that Hoopa.
Yeah. I definitely would agree. Let's take a peek. Yeah, I'm looking around the map, or around the bracket, exclamation point bracket. Um, Looks like Team YT able to take game number one against Anomaly. So if Anomaly loses game number two, they will be going down and playing 7DS in that loser side of the bracket. But we are going to be sticking with UFF here. They're going to need to win 2 games in a row if they want to keep on the winner's side of their bracket. Everstone, very strong team though. They, I believe, made it top 16. They were, in the AOS Cup qualifier, they were I think they were one match away from being able to play Team YouTube. And I think the round of 6. They were top 32. They were one win away from being able to play YouTube against Team YouTube for a chance to play for that top 8. So not a bad team, and you're seeing kind of some of the things that they're able to do, especially with that Hoopa. So I fully expect UFF to kind of come out swinging, try to get game number 2, and kind of force that winner take all. It'll be interesting to see how they handle this next draft, though.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that if they go with those next bans the same way they've been going at it, I think that it's a little bit of a mistake because while Buzzwole and Leafeon are 2 strong Pokemon in basically any comp that you can run, the risk of that Hoopa, in the sense of having me able to cover as much as possible, felt a lot more of the risk than being able to frontline, than having to deal with that frontlining play, because there wasn't much of a frontline for Everstone. It was just laying in over and over those beams in really good areas, and absolute credit to them for being able to space those out and hit those beams. But there's 2 of them flying at you constantly. It becomes less of an issue of trying to frontline and more of an issue of how do we get in.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. They're starting to see exactly the level of competition that enter in these qualifiers. You're gonna get the best of the best. Every team. It's not gonna be like the Weakness League or the Articuno League where you only get a handful of teams that enter. You're getting every team that wants to be on the world stage, on the NAIC stage. Every team that something is going to be entering these, so they're going to see the level of competition, and I think they're going to be ready for this next match. I don't think that they were completely outmatched, though. They definitely weren't able to play their game, but they were in it to the very end. Even after Mew got that Penta, they still even had a chance there. Although it was kind of starting to slip away from them, they had a pretty significant level lead going into the Ray fight, so I'm excited. I fully think that they're gonna come out swinging.
Yeah, I mean, it always comes down to those little moments, especially in a game as volatile as Unite, where in reality you can win or lose a game within the last 2 minutes, and it just becomes how well they confront that Ray fight. They get their positioning right. Will they hit their cooldowns, and will they bait out and avoid the things that they need to bait out and avoid, especially something as dangerous as, say, a Hoopa ult, or something as dangerous as, say, defensively as a Mew ult, and being able to play around that in the right scenarios, obviously, is just is the best thing you can do in those situations.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they will. I think we'll be all right.
Absolutely.
Still a little bit of time, right? And it's not lose or go home at this point in the tournament. They're still on the winner's side of the bracket. They can still, even if God forbid that they lose this round, they still have that loser side of the bracket, and they'd be able to make it to top 8 from there. It's totally possible that's how they path through this bracket. But I'm looking around. I'm curious to see what we're getting from some of these other matchups in this winners round 2. United took Wolves United, actually a team that UFF played in the weakness league. They 2-0'd Fellas United, so they actually are going on to winners round 3. Very strong team. I believe they're actually undefeated in that weakness league. I can't remember if they ended up winning the tournament or not. I went to bed because I think it was pretty late.
EP.
Yeah, I was an EP guy that night. Team YT, yep, still 1-0 against Anomaly. Brave Birders, a very strong team, ended up on the NAIC stage last year. 1-0 against Emotional Damage. Yeah, kind of, we're still very early on. Looking even like Pool 1. What's going on in Pool 1? Alter Ego and Divine Void. Ooh, that's a good matchup. Alter Ego and Divine Void. Divine Void, very, very strong team. I believe they played not only in the Weakness League, but I remember watching them in Underdunk, and they played really well. Secret Tech. Secret Tech. They won their first round. I believe that's made up of Security and Monkey and Purple Kevin. So a very strong team. So congrats to Monkey. I don't know if they're streaming right now. Friend, always around in the Castoms. So that's good for them. Excited to see some of the teams with the players that we're familiar with moving on in some of these rounds. So always good to see. I like that.
Yeah, we love to see the community. We love to see the community succeed, regardless of if it's with us, with their teams, etc., etc.
Pandicorn Wiki. I'm looking. Oh, hi, Mage. Welcome in, Mage. Good to see ya.
Mage.
Oh, and we got game number 2. That's looks like we are getting started here.
Oh, baby.
There we go. And ooh, they're gonna let Emotional Aid Mew again. And looking at it, there's no Hoopa. There's no Hoopa bounce. I think we got the Hoopa ban. So here we go. Game number 2, UFF versus Everstone. Slepa is going to be on that Leafeon. So a little bit of a different look, but not a different look from what we've seen in the past. Just different from this tournament. This is the first time we're seeing Slepa on that Leafeon this tournament.
Yeah, Hoopa was reported to his dad Palkia, and then Palkia put him in timeout. And I think Slepa's going with Leafeon this game just to keep that pick away as well, because I think that they didn't really want to lose that Leafeon ban, but use the pick to lock them out of being able to use Leafeon there.
Yeah, and getting a couple of stacks in early is Team UFF, so 8-0 here in this first little part of the laning phase. We do have a Solar Blade. And look at Leafeon's little guitar.
Wait, yeah,
a little banjo.
Chat, shut up! Look at this. Look, that is one of the greatest skins I've ever seen in my life.
It's just a little wanderer. Just a little wanderer.
Bardic inspiration. Bardic inspiration.
Here we go. Looks like a lot of that farm is going to go over to UFF, that Solar Blade, but Slepa is getting caught up by that red buff, but able to get out of dodge.
Insane, Joe. Insane.
Yeah, that's a good peel by Joe, and Slepa able to throw some bonks.
Get down,
absolutely.
Mrs. President. This is awesome. Yeah, Slepa getting 2 of those 3 birds down there with a big Solar Blade and instantly getting protected by Joe as per usual. We love seeing Joe zone out this area by just putting her body on the line. In sports we love to see that, and because it's a physical masterclass of it. In games we like to see it because it's it's for the team. It's for the team.
It's for the team. Put the team on my back. But yeah, Emotional Aid running that Mew again is on that Solar Beam, but oh wow, Slepa getting a 30 bomber in that top path. putting them up pretty significant here, 38-4 here in this early part of the game. 7:40 mark. We have 20 seconds till this next set of birds comes out. But UFF is looking to push this tier 1 goal on the side of Everstone. Mew has to use their eject because UFF is still going hard onto this goal, but they're gonna have to back away because 4 members of Everstone are down here for the defense.
I do like this Venusaur pick, especially with Giga Drain on standby, because this comp's a little bit more in your face, with with Crustle and Blastoise being the Rapid Spin variant. So I'm a big fan of something like that.
Oh, wow.
That was a melting pot. My God, somebody turn the temperature down. That was disgusting. Instantly
Yeah.
evaporated.
Turning on the fondue is Pina with that melting pot. Yeah, that's absolutely insane. But here we go. We have a Regice in this basement. Regipath and 4 members of Everstone are here to do a Mewsted attack, able to connect on some of the team. But here comes a boosted basic 0 secure Mew because that is Pina's Regice.
And there is another fire spin in there, delaying the back out and giving some more beams in there. That's a big KO for Slepa in there. It's a second big KO from Slepa, getting the Clefable and the Decidueye back there. And she's running straight into them, but down, then the eject button forced out from another fire spin there. Huge fire spins in this.
Yeah, and this is exactly what you want to see the girls do. Where they're playing into their strengths. Having that Hoopa ban was absolutely clutch here because they're doing exactly what they like to do. And that is pressuring goals. Unfortunately, Decidueye does steal their own red buff away. But it's UFF here taking advantage, 142-37 here at the 5:45 mark. And we have a Regieleki that is up here. Fanciful Fireworks does come out, throw it in the middle of the lane. Blastoise has to use that Hydro Typhoon to help try to get them away. Knock Knock Unite looking to fire some arrows into the path of the girls. Ooh, that's a big, big rock tomb there. Yeah.
She'll be fine. We're gonna continue to watch this up here. They're kind of just going in and out here. 2 beams back and forth, trying to bush check each other. It's a 4v4 on the top with the 2 defenders on the bot lane over there. And Kess just gonna keep popping these beams in there, saying you like your own medicine. An incoming Slep with a huge ult in there to get a KO. And it's down to a 3v4.
Yeah, that Emerald 2-step directly onto the Decidueye. If you're a Leafeon, that's exactly what you look to do. You try to maybe go in for a flank and get that carry, unsuspected, get that one shot onto them. But here we go. We're going to have a secure here. It is the Beamosaur on the secure. UFF is actually killing these objective secures. They have a lot at their disposal, whether it's the Fire Blast from Pina, the Solar Beam from Kess, or the Solar Blade. And we did just see a huge Verdant Anger. They push that Regieleki in. They get another big goal. We have a Mystical Mirage that's finding absolutely nobody on the side of Everstone. 420 mark, 197-37, and UFF is looking to blaze maybe this basement Reggie that just spawned.
Yeah, I mean that's a huge ult to lose from you before going for this Regirock, and debatably the most important Reggie in the game, especially after losing that top objective. Wasting that ult, leaving it with a with a 3 does not seem to bode well. But Slepa might be stuck here. Gravity's gonna catch her in there. That X is gonna take her down there. And they're gonna break this top lane first objective for UFF as well. But on the bot lane, they're gonna go take this Regirock and say get in the ground.
Yeah, that was a really nice catch for Everstone. They definitely needed that. A really nicely timed gravity. I'll have to give it to that Clef on that one because that stopped Slepa, gave it the big stun, getting KO'd. They took that goal. UFF still has a pretty nice lead, a little bit under 100, so it's 197-104. 3-minute mark. UFF has all their Unites, but I can't imagine that we'll see them use any of these before this Rayquaza spawns in 1 minute, Bounce.
I absolutely agree with you there. There isn't really much of a merit to it. Especially because this Regieleki is in such a neutral position, being so far away from both these the tier 2 top lanes, and Unless that Everstone try to contest it, UFF are a 3 on it right now. 3
Yeah,
woman
they're
on it at
gonna.
the current moment, and they're probably gonna take this and send it towards that goal with the 2-minute mark upcoming.
Yeah, they're going to take it, but on the bottom path, we do have a little bit of a siege going on for Team Everstone. They're looking to take this basement path, 4 members down, sending a bunch of stocks down there, but UFF is there to defend it. They do get like a 20, I believe it's like a 28 cap, does Everstone, but it's not really enough to take the goal, but it's setting themselves up for a nice overcap if they do elect to take it here in this Ray fight, but 210, it's 197, 151, advantage UFF. Looking across the board on the levels, it's pretty even. If I'm UFF, though, I'm really looking to get this Venusaur onto level 13 so they can get some really large beams with a little bit shorter of a cooldown.
Yeah, and UFF have taken their positions. They're still in a slight lead at the current moment, and if they don't have to do Ray, they should not want to do Ray. They need to force this out to try to get this to get Everstone to make the move first and slowly pick them off when they get out of position. And they have started the push off the top. They've got out of the corridor, TM, and have
Uh-oh.
started to move towards this top. There's the Emerald
Oh,
Two
big
Step and
Emerald Two.
taking down that Decidueye pretty early on in this fight. Slepa getting out of there at a perfect time, but still a 4v3 in there. There's Gravity. And incoming more moves towards Clefable. Clefable is gonna go down there. Another ult from Blastoise, and then another Rubble Rouser there for Crustle as well. But is Blastoise gonna get out of this? Is Emotional gonna get out? But
No
no,
way.
Slepa's gonna take that too. Decidueye is back, but they're still down 2. Emotional Aid popping some more moves towards Slepa up there. And UFF doing really well here to keep out Everstone from getting anywhere close to taking this Rayquaza. And they have to start it now. 41 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, they're going to either have to start this or maybe just start looking to push that bottom goal because it is a small lead for UFF. I think they know that they're in the lead, but it is small. But we have a Knock Knock Unite coming out, looking to try to do a bunch of damage into the enemy team. We have Crustle coming on. This Rayquaza is running dangerously low. Mew uses that Mystical Mirage. Are they going to get the boosted attack? Oh, but it's actually Decidueye that gets it with a huge Spirit Shackle. Unfortunately, UFF is going to try to break some of these shields, but it's going to be too little too late. I think they're going to not have enough in the tank here, and Everstone is going to take game number 2 and move on. Unfortunate turn of events for
Super
UFF.
unfortunate. I think that the turning moment is when Everstone started to pull that secure, try to start ripping at that Rayquaza, and they just couldn't do enough to contest, and they kept Titania doing really well in there to catch that, but another very low KO game from UFF and Everstone here. And it really, again, just came down to that last Ray Pit fight. Unfortunately, UFF couldn't keep out the dangerous aspects of that mid-fight rip, and barely lose that game from just the ending Spirit Shackle there.
Very unfortunate. They had so much secure available to them, but in the sea of secures, it was that Decidueye that got it, and just an unfortunate turn of events. It seemed like UFF was really finding their stride. That's a tough pill to swallow. They're not over. The journey's not over for them, though. Obviously, they're going to be able to go down to that loser side of the bracket. Excuse me. We're going to see who they're going to be playing against. They're going to be playing the winner of match BE, which is going to be Tano Tribal versus Protect the President. Not quite sure who's on either of the either of those teams, but they're gonna have their work cut out for them if they want to try to advance and get into this top 8 for this March Cup qualifier.
I mean, I think if you watch that game, you're definitely not thinking that they were outclassed in many aspects during that game. It really just came down to that last Ray fight and being able to just get out of that defensive kind of fight there. I think being a little more aggressive could have helped a lot in that situation, but again, that's not necessarily a testament to oh well we lost 2-0. It should be a 2-0. Definitely was not a 2-0 kind of set.
Yeah. Again, just unfortunate turn of events, right? It could have been a little bit more aggressive once they got a couple of those picks, maybe elected to score, or maybe even decided, hey, we have the secures available. Let's just go ahead and rip it, knowing that they had a lead, but it was very small. It's a tough call at that point, but you gotta trust that they were doing the right things. It's very very tough pill to swallow because they did have the secures available. It's just the Decidueye also has a really good secure. They had the Mew and the Decidueye that could have secured it. Obviously, it was the Decidueye. The UFF had three members that offer really strong secures, and that's just tough.
I
A
mean,
little bit
like
of a bummer, but
challenging to secure in a last second kind of thing is very difficult, and especially because of how good and how far you can shoot that from.
mhm.
I saw at the end of that. We also saw Mew hold on to their ults for a long time, and when they got pushed, they popped it and were able to escape and continue to rip that a little bit towards the top as well.
Yeah. But I think maybe we take a break here before these next matches start. I believe we got
We still do not have a 7DS game yet. We are
still do not. Yeah,
slowly.
we still don't have a 7DS.
They're setting
They're
up.
setting up right now.
Whoopee!
Okay, yeah, let's take a
Yeah,
quick little break here,
take
and
a quick
then
little
we'll
break.
get recharged for 7DS.
Correct, correct.
Welcome back, Pokemon Unite trainers. How is everybody doing? We are back. We will be jumping into 7DS's losers bracket match here in just a couple of minutes. With me, I'm SteelAgentKyle, and I have Bounce with me. What's going on, Bounce? How have the matches been? What are you seeing? What are you liking?
We have seen a good amount of Pokemon Unite today. We have seen Slepa hop on a squishy and take its life. We've watched Kess fire spin, fire spin, and fire spin. We watched Rapid put up a wall. And I don't think we need to explain any further. And we've watched Joe spin in a circle, healing everyone around her.
Absolutely. I've been really liking what I saw from the UFF. Obviously, little sad to see them go down in down in an earlier round. But Sugar, they went down swinging, and they'll be back here. We'll get to their losers bracket match once that gets started. But I really liked what they were doing. I loved watching Slepa on Meowscarada. I thought that was a very strong pick. I liked the Delphox picks. I thought those were, obviously Delphox received some buffs. Those are really strong. And as someone who is kind of, I wouldn't say abused Crustle because it's not like, it's not Miraidon. I rode Crustle so hard to Master and to 1600 last season. I love seeing that thing. It's so fun. You put up the walls. You can throw rocks. I like the stealth rock build a little bit more, but we saw Rapid kind of run that X Scissor build. Pretty good though. Pretty good though. Those are the things that I liked a lot.
Phrasing. What do you mean phrasing? We don't have to worry about that here. That is never an issue. What are you talking about? But yeah, there's been some pretty solid picks, and in reality, there actually have been very good bans. I mean, in the last game, unfortunately, UFF did go down 2-0, but they did the right bans that they needed to do, and they got rid of Hoopa, like I probably think most Pokemon Unite players would like to get rid of. Put Hoopa in the distortion world right into detention, and it
Straight to jail.
Straight into prison. Hoopa, you've messed with time too much. Messed with space and time too much. We're having Giratina watch you. They're not getting paid, and they have free reign over your body.
But here we go. We are gonna get Anomaly versus 7DS here in this losers bracket match. Anomaly did go down to Team YouTube, which obviously a very strong team, but here we go. Not quite sure on the bans, but I imagine that we saw at least one Eevee ban because we still have 3 on the map right now.
But we do in fact have we got Snorlax and Delphox bot lane is something that I very much like because it will absolutely let people not play the game. But we got a Hoopa up top, and Doodra is gonna get caught out early on here, and Hoopa's gonna get that early, and it looks like that they instantly are popping Glaceon into that top lane over here, and we have a little flower taking on the world.
Yeah, I love that. Poor Eldegoss. That was a rough little go of trying to farm those up because there are 3 members of Anomaly trying to push the goal. Not quite able to get evolved are the Eldegoss and Leafeon. They very much did not want Leafeon to get their stacks in, and they do get online though, so that's actually pretty big there for 7DS. We saw Anomaly do a little bit of a split jungle with their Eevees, so both of those are here. But here comes the 850 birds. A lot of them. Ooh, nice job by Doodra to use that Solar Blade, getting a couple of those secures of those birds.
Yeah, we got more Bardic Inspiration on the field, add a D8 to your attack rolls, and there we go. We take that secure up there. And that Glossiflor really needs to become Eldegoss, and it does, but it looks like there's gonna be a big jungle invade in here, and and Aaron's gonna get away there from the eject button through the wall there, but they're gonna start chasing down this Hoopa. This Hoopa is not getting out of here alive unless they can get the hyperspace hole out and get back to base.
That was illegal.
That was That is also disgusting. But I don't think the jungle invade was exactly how they planned it to go at the current moment. But they're gonna go into the mid and take these 8-minute birds within less than 5 seconds there, and dude is going to start zoning this little area. But that Glaceon is going to be a threat if it keeps getting higher and higher on that level scale.
Absolutely, yeah. 7:30 here. Both birds are going to be spawning in both paths in about 10 seconds. A little bit of an advantage here on the score lead for the side of Anomaly. Leafeon is up here with 3 members of Anomaly, going to try to do their best to hold this goal, but Glaceon has it locked in its sights, and those icicle spears, they're piercing right now.
Yeah, a little bit of overkill because the Leafeon had fainted at that point, but we ignore that. On the bot lane, there's gonna be a big KO on Slowbro, and there's gonna be some points up there in here for 7 Deadly Sins. It's gonna be the bot. That's gonna be the first goal broken in this match so far, and Hoopa's going back into the jungle to still mess with Leafeon at the top up there. Blastoise looks like gonna break that top first goal zone with a 15 break. Not a huge overcap, and Hoopa's gonna go look for this blue buff, and while Blastoise is gonna go straight up and try to take this Regieleki.
Yeah, and it looked like 70S did break that goal with a 1-over, but that's not that huge of a deal, especially when you're dealing with a Hoopa. You kind of want to try to get that off the map as fast as possible, but looks like Anomaly able to get a secure on that Regieleki that is going to push into that tier 2 goal, as Anomaly did break that tier 1 goal before getting it. So they're going to be able to put some pressure on, and they're going to elect to maybe push this bottom tier goal. Looks like 3-4 members are going to help try to push that bottom goal while Hoopa just harasses this Leafeon in jungle. Emerald 2-step connects, but doesn't quite get the KO. Are they going to be able to get that Solar Blade reset? And they aren't able. Hoopa just goes right back to base. And again, they're going to just continue to just pester 7DS in the jungle.
This has to be frustrating for 7DS at the current moment, but that's going to be a huge big stuns there, and it's gonna knock that Hoopa out, finally getting them off of them in the jungle there. 31 going up top for Dudra at the moment, and gonna take this Altaria on the top and get a little bit more stacks in here.
Yeah, Papa Dudra getting some big scores there for 7DS, so that's actually going to be pretty good for them. 118 to 174. They do have a little bit of a score deficit, but it's nothing too bad. Looking across the board. Oh,
out again! We take those.
That's huge. So that's going to be something to keep your eye on here. But Hydro Typhoon does hit the mark, knocks up a couple members of 7DS. It is the Leafeon and the Delphox that are going down, and Eldegoss shortly follows, falling to those icicle spears of that Glaceon. But something to watch out for, Bounce, is going to be the interaction between this Snorlax and the Hoopa. Snorlax running that heavy slam block. So in these team fights, you're going to look for Snorlax to either push the enemy team out of those hyperspace holes or even knock them up as they're trying to go ban. So something to watch out for as we go through this game. But Slow Beam onto Leafeon is huge and gets that KO.
2 huge KOs up top there. The fireworks are going off as well. They're starting to pressure this platform down here. And there goes Snorlax going in with another heavy slam on Sylveon. Sylveon hitting up with the Hyper Voice, and then there goes a hyperspace hole getting 2 back to base. But they're not going to get back in time, and that Regieleki's going to get taken there from 7 Deadly Sins over there. And incoming a sleepy boy, he's going honk shoe. Shout out Shu. And getting another kill in there, but down goes Eldegoss, and in this bush over here is a Hoopa there to get knocked out by another very well placed another very well placed Delphox attack.
Yeah, absolutely, and pretty big that Dudra was able to get out on that 1 HP in a dream on the Leafeon. I don't know how those Hyperspace Fury didn't connect on that. That was some expert maneuvering, but 322 Hoopa is down here ready for this Registeel. They do not have their Unite move, so they won't be able to bring the team down, but both teams looking to set up and try to take this Registeel. That'll be absolutely huge for whatever team gets this. They'll have a nice large buff to their their attack and special attack, and it's 4 members of Anomaly that are looking to rip this, and it's exactly what's going to happen.
It's a great
huge
secure!
steal on
Huge
the heavy
secure!
slam!
The
That's
big
huge
boy!
right there.
Oh
The
my
big
goodness!
boy.
What? He said, I'm going to sit on it, and got the big heavy slam secure. And not to mention, that's a Glaceon ult down there to try and secure Registeel at 3 minutes. That may
Yeah,
it definitely can recharge in time for the pit, but that is absolutely a little bit of an early rip there for an ult as well.
Yeah, and the kind of the strategy I think that they're looking for too is they're probably going to try to feed this Glaceon as much as possible. If it is running Energy Amp, it could get it back, but they also, knowing that 7DS does have that attack buff, and the fact that Anomaly has this score lead, they may try to stall out this Ray fight as long as possible until some of these characters get their Unites move and that attack and special attack buff wears off.
Yeah, Glaceon's still up there, and here comes the blocking from Slowbro, forcing that Surf out of there, going back into base, but Glaceon's gonna take out Snorlax there. Incoming Blastoise into the bot here. That's gonna be a rapid spin into that area. It looks like the Hoopa is gonna put a hyperspace hold to get 3 back into base. Everyone back up to full health. Hoopa still getting stunned by that fire spin there. Blastoise going back up top, and there is the Hoopa ult incoming, and there's another ult from Blastoise there. Dude is gonna start doing his Snorlax ulting in there as well. Nobody seems to be getting knocked out, except for that Sylveon incoming there with more heavy slam, and another fire spin onto Slowbro, but there's just can't get those KOs, and unfortunately down goes Eldegoss. Hoopa gets knocked down by Anrin right there. But dude's gonna go in there, take out that take out the Glaceon there, and there's still a Slowbro on the field. Blastoise also still uncontested and starting to move towards the back line in here. He does not have his ult either, but he still has enough damage to probably knock out somebody in there. Emerald 2-step does not quite get that. Neither does the Solar Beam, and Amber's gonna go down as well. Oh
yeah,
no.
And that's a rough one for 7DS there, and we have still a little bit of a lead for Anomaly, and they're actually going to look to increase that lead by capping in this bottom path. They are going to be able to do just that. 42 points for Sylveon, and Blastoise also going to be able to get 100. This might spell the end for 7DS in game number 1, and that's just about it. 10 seconds. They're not going to have enough time on the clock or money in their pockets. Game 1 is going to go over to Anomaly, and that's a rough one. They seem to have a little bit of momentum going, but I think the difference there for 7DS, they don't have a ton of healing. Eldegoss obviously can only do so much healing, a single target healing, and kind of once they got 3 members of Anomaly down, they weren't really able to stay in the fight, and Aaron was kind of on like maybe 3/4 or like 33% health. Dude with was like 20% health, so they didn't have a whole lot of health after they got those KOs. So unfortunately, not quite able to turn and burn that Rayquaza as they would have probably have liked.
Yeah, unfortunately, it also was just it looked a little difficult to snag those KOs in the Ray Pit, and overall, when you knock up a character like that, excuse me, it really takes that focus to go directly for them, and didn't seem to really pull that way for 7 Deadly Sins. They still played that very well, and absolutely could have, with a little bit of mechanical fix, could have absolutely won that Ray fight. But a lot of stunning in there from Dude to knock people into the air, and just was not followed up on enough.
Yeah, unfortunately, game number 1 does go over to Anomaly, but again, that is a very strong team, and 7DS played that very well. Just unfortunate there. I wonder if I didn't get to see if Clef was banned. I imagine it was, or I'm trying to think. But yeah, I can't remember if Clef was banned or not. I did not see, but yeah, tough there. Didn't have a ton of healing that they had at their disposal. But if you're 7DS, I wouldn't be too sad about kind of how that went down. I think they kind of have at least an idea of what they want to do in game number 2. Obviously, you're gonna have to win this one, but win or go home right now for for 7DS, because they are obviously in the loser side of this bracket. Game number 2 is going to be starting up for them, I imagine, shortly. It looks like UFF is getting queued up as well. They're going to be taking on Tano Tribal. I'm trying to see who's on this team. Oh, we got Chopper on that team as well. One of my casting partners for the Crunchy Customs this past Wednesday. So that should be a fun set for those two teams.
I mean, yeah, like Chopper's in chat right now, talking about how we got, in quotes, we got UFF and Bracken now XD. Sorry. If you get fire spun, you can address that with our HR manager.
Yeah, talk to HR about fire spin. If you have been affected by fire spin, you may be entitled to compensation. You may be entitled for compensation if you
join the class action
or a loved one.
Right we will not take responsibility. That's all on Cass. I'm not gonna lie.
No. HR didn't allow Girth Dad to happen. HR enabled Girth Dad to happen.
Yeah, I mean, well, also, like, is that not net positive? Like, Girth Dad is the Girth Dad's goated, and
yeah.
If you think differently,
same difference? No, there's different. There's different enabling.
No,
there's enabling behavior.
Allowing it implies that it's bad.
Yeah.
Enabling it is the right thing to do.
Potato tomato. Potato tomato. No. Allowing is just like, yeah, I'll just let it happen. No, enabling is like encouraging.
Yeah, enabling is encouraging. Absolutely. If Nair pulls up,
Nair's like, wait a minute. Right.
Also shout out to
exactly.
Chopper. I got you. I see you in there. I see you in there. They're shaking their heads. They're shaking their heads in backstage, man.
I'm on a slipper slope. Is that?
What's a slipper slope? I don't know what that
is. That like a fuzzy? Is that like a fuzzy slope made of things that I wear on my feet?
Hey, shut up, Kyle.
Come on.
Oh no!
What did I do to deserve that?
They pulled out the soundboard. No. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
What are we gonna do, man?
What are we gonna do? We do have, looks like 7DS is getting ready to queue up.
They are, in fact, ready in here. Oh my goodness. Too fun going with the Espeon. We got and Aaron on the Glaceon. Trevenant with Dude. Blissey with Duck, and Dudra is gonna be on that Blaziken. How can I craft that name into a Blaziken pun? Like Blaze-a-Dude, Blaze-a.
There's something there.
There's something out there. Somebody more clever than me can figure it out.
But it looks like we have 4 Eevees on the side of the team, so I imagine Umbreon was banned. Knowing what's going on, Umbreon was probably banned. We're gonna have 4 Eevees out here. They're gonna have to try to deal with it. It looks like 7DS is gonna take some of this top farm while this Leafeon is gonna try to get some stacks. That's a pretty hefty stack of 9 points. They're going to get that. Fortunately for 7DS, that's all that they're going to get. They're going to have to flash away is that Eevee that is going to be a Leafeon eventually, I would imagine. But
Yeah, I
a
mean,
couple stacks in, nothing too worrisome if you're 70s.
yeah, they're forcing that eject button out early. Leafeon is now up for Anomaly at the moment, but on the bot lane, Glaceon is up as well, so it a little bit evens out. Espeon also coming up for 7 deadly sins in there. We still got a child in a tree at the bottom, and it looks like that. Or here's a big wall that comes instantly in from Crustle, and that Hyper Voice doing a lot of damage in there on the bot lane here. Aaron
Hmm.
living though.
Yeah, and they're gonna have to grab some berries and get re-healthed up. And we have a little bit of invade for this
We
Kirlia. They're
got
kind of
more
in the middle of the
invade.
jungle. Yeah,
We
that's
have
a
a
very,
hold
very
on. We have so many people forcing towards the middle right now. Korea's gonna run in there, take that red buff, and Glaceon's gonna start flashing back towards that jungle area to try to confront it. And we still got a baby KFC on the field over there.
yeah, that little chicken nugget is doing as best as they can. They're gonna maybe actually be able to get this 23 in, but Leafeon does suss that out, and here comes Eldegoss, and
Oh,
Eldegoss
just
with the
couldn't.
basic attack just is able to get that stopped. Oh, very unfortunate for Dudro, who's
Run,
trying to just
chicken!
get whatever they
Run,
could.
chicken! It
Chicken
gets
chicken
away! Yes!
run chicken run does
I love
happen.
chicken tenders. All right,
Yeah,
now we now
45
it's
nothing here at the 740 mark. A lot of the farm, a lot of the levels are over on the side of Anomaly. Have 3 members ticked into level 7, while only the Glaceon has done that for 7DS. So it's a little bit off to a little bit of a rough start here if you're 7DS. And ooh, Glaceon gets walled off by
that
Crustle
is
and then has to burn their flash because those Psyshocks were going to take it out if they didn't do that.
yeah, the side shock is dangerous, especially of how fast Gardevoir got to level 8, and being that there are 3 level 5 Pokemon on the field for 7DS here. There may be a chicken tender, but the rest of the menu is currently burning, and that needs to be a little bit fixed. Not run into as many fights as you would usually like to at this stage of the game, and focus on either snagging things that are lower on health, taking some farm like that, or getting your picks into being able to get those that catch up XP.
Yeah, ooh, and yeah, this tree is gonna get caught out of position. Just able to live. This red ice is getting burned really quickly,
There's a
and it's
huge
actually
secure.
Glaceon that gets the secure. Glacial stage has been set. We're gonna look to burn those icicle spears into the enemy team, but no one there to lock
Oh,
onto. And this
big
chicken
chicken.
is fully
Big
online.
chicken.
Uses that
Big
spin
chicken.
to win, and 2 KO streak for Dudra, who's finally fully online.
And now, finally, we are now in with the full chicken breast. No more tenders, no more nuggets. It's the full chicken breast. It's a chicken parmesan. But unfortunately, getting knocked out over there as well.
Yeah, and Leafeon's gonna try to scoop up the money, and maybe make a siege towards this bottom goal. But this Regieleki is still up. Anomaly has a pretty nice lead here, 80 to nothing at the 545 mark. We have the Trevenant that is going to try to take these 550 birds in the lane. Unable to do so because there are still 2 members of Anomaly that are trying to look to maybe push. So good job of zoning and
No, not
taking what they can
again.
get.
Not
But the
again. Not
Eldegoss
again.
doing their best to get these interrupts.
That's a lot of damage down towards Leafeon over there, and Dudra still taking this little area out, not letting Leafeon get in there, forcing that out, and that's gonna be a big KO down there for on the Eldegoss against Anomaly, and Dudra's gonna start moving in here as well, using that to bait out that with a huge eject button and gets the big kick.
Yeah, the overheat into the eject was absolutely massive there for Dudra. Leafeon thought they did something, but they only found a KO, and that was pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a beautiful use of that overheat eject button. It's a little bit of a hard thing to get used to because of how long that cooldown is for an eject button. But you hit those, you're doing a massive amounts of damage.
Yeah, absolutely. 171 to 111 here. 7DS trying to get tier 1 goal of Anomaly, uses the Psychic Solaire, does that Espeon, not quite able to get the KOs that they're looking for. It's 7DS that's on the defensive here, and another KO maybe gets saved temporarily by that Resident Guard, and it is Glaceon that is going to go down along with this Trevenant, and Anomaly is going to try to maybe back here and take the win that they did in this bottom path.
Yeah, Dudra is level 11, but he's gonna get caught out there. 1 HP, but incoming some eggs from Duck. Duck still trying to keep Blaziken alive here, but it's gonna be a big secure in the bot lane there for a Registeel, and Registeel's gonna add that attack power on. 7DS is not gonna want to hang around here much longer, if at all, because they're just going to get bullied with the amount of damage they have on the field right now. Incoming a Rumble Rouser there from Crustle, forcing Blissey back in there. That's a second KO. That's a third on Glaceon and a fourth on Espeon, and they're going to get a ton of points that bot lane if Trevenant doesn't stop in time. They're in goes to a Fairy Singularity as well. They are burning ults in here, trying to get as many points as possible. And 7DS starts to regroup a little bit around here, but incoming a ton of Icicle Spears there on Crustle, forcing him out of there, but not getting a KO.
Yeah, pretty big play there for Anomaly. Almost getting their hand caught in that cookie jar. They get a ton of points. I think it was about 75 points in that bottom path. So they pad their lead just a little bit more, 246 to 11 or 111. They're gonna have a tough time getting all of their Unites back, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. I think they'll just need a couple bits of farm to get that Fairy Singularity and the Rebel Rouser back, because with the relatively recent patch of Gardevoir with the boost to their Unite move, those Fairy Singularities are coming a little bit harder, and they're a little bit faster on the cooldown, but another overheat from Blaziken, has to back on out. 15 seconds till Ray. This Regieleki, though, that's unfortunate. It does get secured by that Leafeon on that Solar Blade. So if I'm 7DS, I just let this walk.
Yeah, because once you start hitting this thing, you're 2 minutes now. You are instantly putting yourself below numbers at Ray Pit right now. And especially if they have something like Gardevoir that can blow it up pretty quickly, or Crustle that can zone you out in the right way, is going to be a lot more difficult to get in there, even if you are going to lay that down. And that's exactly what we're talking about right there, isn't it, Kyle? When they just quickly go and take off Rayquaza as fast as possible. And that is exactly what we were worried about there.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. Anomaly knew exactly what they had to do there, right? They got the steal on the Regieleki. 7DS needed to go immediately to Ray, because Anomaly knew exactly where all 5 members of 7DS were, and they were nowhere near that Ray fight, and they just turned and burned it immediately. That Ray was gone within the first, really, 10-15 seconds, and that was about it. Unfortunately for 7DS, their run in the March Open qualifiers is going to come to an end. Tough match, towards that late fight there. They definitely had some opportunities to win, but Anomaly is just a very strong team, and they knew exactly what they needed to do.
Yeah, I mean that, like, towards the end of it, especially because the point total that was currently on our screens is obviously unknown to them. But it definitely probably in that moment felt like they needed to stop that from having a chance of getting that point total in a into a winnable scenario. But just leaving that Aleki there probably a better option there, and really unfortunately made it a 3v5, and then instantly got walled out by Crustle. And it just turned into Gardevoir being able to rip as fast as possible.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, 7DS run's going to come to an end. Anomaly is going to move on in their losers side bracket. 834-111 is your final here. Anomaly goes on. 7DS is going to go back to the drawing board for the April qualifiers, and every other league that they're in. I know that they are part of the Articuno League and a couple other things around the scene. So good show in there. Unfortunately, you kind of get off to a rough start against 7DS versus Start GG, and then now against Anomaly. So nothing to scoff at. Good games for 7DS, and best of luck, obviously, in the rest of the leagues that they are a part of.
And it's an unfortunate end to their run, and I know that they're probably very disappointed in the situation that happened. But from now, you just gotta take these to the review board and be able to come back stronger with this experience under their belt, and that's the most important thing you can take from that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 7. Yeah, it's tough. That's a really strong team as Anomaly. They've played in many tournaments. I believe they're part of some leagues as well. So it's a team that's been around for a little bit. So they go on 2-0. They're going to end up taking on the winner of either Mew World Order or Exponential Thomas, I believe, is their matchups. UFF, however, is taking on Tano Tribal. And I'm not sure what the outcome of that one was. I'm trying to see if we have an idea. Looking at chat. Question mark?
Chat, question mark? Question
01 TT. Heading into second match. Thanks, Taco. Appreciate you.
God, we love Taco.
My goat.
My goat. My goat. My goat.
Yeah, Tano Tribal taking game 1, it seems. Yeah, that's what our coach is saying. Game number 2. We're gonna see what these girls are able to do, and see if they're able to stick it to Tano Tribal and move on, and hopefully continue their run in the March qualifiers. Looking around here, would have been interesting to be able to see some of what they did. I'm looking at chat and saying Casto's on Glaceon, Pino's on Leafeon, Slepa on Meta, Joe's on Bliss, Rapid on Crustle. That's a good comp. Fortunate that they go down 1-0, but be interested to see what they do in game number 2. I always like the Casto Glaceon pick. Glaceon's obviously crazy, but I also have been really liking the Delphox. I think Delphox just offers a lot of utility, especially with that Unite move. It's just so good at not only defending goals but pushing goals, and that's really where you see UFF shine, is when they're able to all kind of push goals, taking those tier 2 goals. We saw it in one of those matches earlier. I believe it was against Everstone. They were able to throw one of those Delphox Unites on a goal and get a bunch of points and still able to get on out. So it's one of those Unite moves that's just so oppressive, with not only the damage that it does, but the reduced healing, the slowing, and just the how quickly you get it back. It's pretty crazy. So I always love that pick right now.
I mean, like, it's also insanely frustrating to play against, and
Oh yeah.
now that move was frustrating before it became a solid pick as well. And now that it has that damage boost from this recent patch, it's even more of a risk to just walk into that as well. It's also a great bush checker. It's a great like CC control tool for grouping up. It does a good amount of damage now, and it sets up your teammates for insanely huge, insanely big wipes if you're set up in the right positions.
Yeah. Looks like we're in the pick and ban phase, so we're only a couple minutes away from being able to spectate this one. Gonna be exciting. Obviously, the stakes, like a cow in Colorado, the stakes have never been higher.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
They're gonna have to win this game. They're gonna have to win this game if they want to stay in this one. I said it.
I know you said it, and I regret it.
I said what I said, Bounce.
I know you said what you said.
I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it more. That was kind of a I wanted to test the waters. I wanted to see how that was.
Chat, press one.
Give me a rate. Give me a rating on that one. Give me a rating on that one.
Press 1 if you think puns are okay, and then press 2 if you think puns should be punishable by capital punishment. Frame 1 from Crunches.
Pain out of 10.
God.
69. All right.
Alex, Alex, I need you to focus up here, man. Come on. I need you. I need you to.
HR's here. HR's here.
I need you to focus up with me, okay? Neither of that. That's neither the numbers that I offered. That is a completely separate number. Funny, nice, sex number. Cool. All right, move along. That would hit 1 or 2 already.
You want to punch? Hey!
Oh my god!
We love it. We love it. We love to see it.
Thank you.
Pun rhymes with 1. So I think it wins.
Oh my god, no.
Nanera's walking away. Nanera's had enough of our shit.
I wonder if she's just like howling and laughing.
Crunches is just putting her hand over her face. I'm giving everybody the play-by-play and the behind-the-scenes. Nanera walked away. Crunches has her face in her palm. This is great. This is great. Punologist in chat.
So you're getting you're getting a temporary ban from speaking in the playground later.
Permaban.
I don't think that far. Unless Crunches is really feeling not punny today.
Do we have an update from Taco of what the bans and the picks are? That's what I'm curious of. Do we have the ban?
It's to try me.
Match is starting now.
No,
nice. You want Kyle to give a list of puns at your funeral? Okay, bet.
But Rex is never gonna die. What are you talking about?
That's true.
It's true.
And Buzz Glace. Okay.
Banning
But no Buzzwall, no Glaceon.
I respect it.
Yeah, I absolutely respect that.
God, there will be punishment. Oh, come on! You can't say You can't say that it's a double flips me off in the background. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. What happened to hatred of it? Damn it!
You can either live long enough to be the villain. Or what's the Batman thing?
You can either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But they got rid. I am my villain arc. They got rid of Umbreon as something else. God damn it, Taco. Taco, we need the inside information. No.
Oops.
But yeah, I mean, like the Glaceon and Buzzwole picks are like bans are just it's a pretty like vanilla ban because they're both frustrating to play against. They're both insanely good, and I think most comps in this or most teams in UCS would be fine with banning either or both of those.
Yeah. Yeah, it's did you just king shame?
Oh my goodness. Listen, maybe by accident, but now that I know that I did it by accident, good. I'm getting told off in hand emotions, and I'm very scared for my well-being. Man, but yeah, no, it's been a consistent pick for them to get rid of Buzzwole most of their bracket runs so far, and for a good reason. That double slam is not something that everyone likes, you know, like no kink shaming. If you like it, you like it, but I think that most Pokemon Unite players don't want to be put up against the wall.
I mean, fair. Fair.
Oh my god. I wish you all could see Crunches' face as soon as I said that. Oh my god, that was the best. That was so good. Yes, the name. We know.
We know. Well,
Gamers.
and here we go. We got the match available. We're gonna go, gamers. Here
Bardic
we go.
inspiration. Bardic inspiration.
Hashtag let her Mew.
Oh my.
She's. We got it. We
We
got Mew,
got it.
guys.
We got it.
We got it. We got the
Hashtag
Mew.
letter Mew in chat. Hashtag letter Mew.
Mew
Oh my
gaming. Here we
goodness.
go. Pina and Rapid are going to be going to the bottom path. Looks like Kez and Slepa are going to split this jungle. Hopefully, Slepa will be able to get to level 4 by the time that she gets to top lane. And yeah, Pina's going to be rocking this Mew along with Rapid on that tree. So I like the comp so far. Unfortunately, not able to get the secure on that Electro Ball.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a little unfortunate there not to grab it, but already starting to do a little bit of damage in there. Bulbasaur barely getting away from that and there, and I have an eerie feeling that Pina's gonna be a annoying player to play against at the current moment.
Absolutely. She is DTB, aka down to bully. Uses that eject button to try to get away. Very slippery is that Mew. Trying to avoid this water gun, Slowpoke. Able to do a little bit of damage, but Slowpoke is caught chasing the cat and does play a little game of cat and mouse, and it's the cat that gets away.
Yeah, to see Dragapult after the crit nerfs is a little interesting here. I don't think the character is necessarily that was that gutted at all, but very interesting to see this here. And it looks like that Rapid's gonna get out of there. Incoming, there's a Hoopa in play here from Joe that brings down the girls, and they're gonna start girl bossing down here, forcing them back onto their pads. Joe pulling down another hyperspace hole and pops everybody back into their spawn and instantly right back into that bot lane.
They're gonna gaslight gatekeep girl boss all the way down in this bot
sir.
path. And maybe look to push this goal. Is this Hoopa gonna try to get a little bit of points? So not only if you're looking at playing Hoopa, not only is it important to hold your goals, but it's just as important to maybe try to break goals of your opponents. And that was a really nicely timed surf swap for Pina as Cass gets a KO on that War Turtle. Trevenant is online looking to bully Chopper and does exactly that, but it's actually Blissey that goes down. Chopper gets away on that Dragapult, who's level 6.
Chopper, they're coming for you, man. Like they're coming. They're coming. You catch a UFF member in a back alley, you watch yourself.
Yeah, the UFF is going to say, get to the chopper, and all day long. Yeah, that's bad. I know. Don't come for me. Don't knock on my door. But here we go. Birds are going to go over to the side of Slepa with that solar blade. That's how a pro transitions that right there.
What a great segue. That definitely was not awkward at all. Oh my goodness. And incoming the Reggie, it's up, and it's Reggie's steal, and this is gonna be the attack bonus in here. But incoming Venusaur, but doesn't get the beam off in time. It's low on that, but they're gonna secure that for. Is that and then down goes Kess with a huge Blissey, big Blissey egg, something we like to see over here, and well, not necessarily now, but in general, we like Blissey eggs.
Yeah, unfortunate there.
Not gonna go UFF's way for that secure.
Yeah, 0 secure on the Mew. Unfortunately for the girls, not quite able to get ticked into the level 8. Or I believe her cooldown, like her ability to change moves is down, so she was stuck on that Electro Ball. Usually you see Pina try to secure with the Solar Beam, so I'm not sure if it was just stuck or just with how Electro Ball is right now, that was the move. But looks like they're able to get that Regieleki. And is that Lecky going to be able to push in? Kess has to eject, play out. Unfortunately, he still gets KO. Hoopa does send a hyperspace hole, sends Leafeon back, and UFF is doing their damnedest to try to hold this goal. Hydro Typhoon knocks up 3 members, and this Verdant Anger pushes them out, gets the KOs. 101-53 advantage.
Yeah, Venusaur going back to that. Venusaur going back to that Pokemon Stadium days where it looks like it's zooted out of its mind, and taking that big KO in there and getting that first goal zone knocked down. And they're instantly gonna push straight directly into that bot lane there. Venu's gonna avoid that by getting that invincibility on scoring. An incoming Hoopa in the hyperspace hole with Hoopa, and it's just it's a scramble down here for both UFF and the other team, and it's going to be one big KO there for the frog, but a instant ult there on a Slowbro, getting that kill for a Phantom Force Dragapult to get more stacks on that. And that is an insane amount of damage that is just ripped out right there. And Kess is gonna return to Kess is gonna, or is that, wait, is that Pina or is that Kess? I can't read.
Kess is on
I
the
don't know. I don't
on
have
the
my
Delphox.
glasses on.
Pina's rocking the Mew. We do have a Reg Ice that has spawned in the spot path. Hoopa is bringing the team out. Rings have come unbound. We have a Hyperspace Fury that is doing a bit of damage, stunning him. Venusaur doesn't have his beam up, but we have a beam coming out for Mew. It's actually going to be secured on the side of Tano Tribal. It's actually 3 members go down, though. So UFF... Oh, wait, who actually ended up getting the secure on that? What's that?
UFF got that secure in there, and they're continuing to try to bully this Blissey out of a goal.
Yeah, I didn't see who actually got the secure because it looked like the beams from both Tano and the Mew did not connect in time. So I think it might have been maybe Delphox that got the secure on it.
I think it was Kess there that got that secure. But regardless, they're gonna take that that nice little XP buff and a little bit of that HP to boot, but looks like they're having to defend this Regieleki at the top, and Regieleki spinning in a circle is exactly the dopamine that I needed today, and they're gonna just take this thing out, unfortunately, because I love that guy, and reset the situation, slap it back into the jungle, and they're starting to push down towards that bot lane again, incoming the tree and getting instantly knocked into the hold there from Slowbro. And,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and we had a slow beam that came out at the 3-minute mark, so that's going to be something to take note if you're Team UFF, is that there's not going to be a Slowbro Unite at the beginning of Ray, but we might have missed, we didn't talk about this, but we actually had a nice cap on the off lane, so UFF has extended their point lead. It's 230 to 108 with 30 seconds left before this Rayquaza spawns. Rapid does catch that Slowbro with the Wood Hammer. Tano Tribal is going to have to try to maybe retreat here, but instead they're going to set up for this basement Reggie, and that's going to spawn with enough time to maybe turn and burn it before this Rayquaza.
Yeah, but also take a look at the ults over there. Slowbro does not have their ult. Blissey does not have their ult either, and especially going into this Ray fight where Dragapult's ult is kind of an on command consistently. It's a little scary to have to go in there without one of something that can absolutely take out a single target, and Blissey's ult, which is a overall great area of effect.
Yeah, here we go. Game number 2. Rayquaza is on the map. Rapid Spin Blastoise gets in and it does a ton of damage, and we have a Hydro Typhoon that comes out, gets a catch onto the Trevenant, and Hoopa's bringing the rings unbound, but they get KO'd there. That is absolutely huge for Tano Tribal, who now has 2 members down for UFF. It is Chopper that gets KO'd, and oh no, Kess goes down there too. That's going to be a long KO timer of 20 seconds left, so UFF is going to have to hold on for their dear lives if they want to stay in this match. Slow Beam comes out and connects onto Leafeon, but there's still plenty of time left for both teams. It looks like they're kind of just holding out, and Tano Tribal is going to be getting into this Ray pit. It is the Blissey assistance going on to Slowbro, and here we go. This Rayquaza is going to be starting to get ripped by Chopper on this Dragapult.
Yeah, Rapid can't get in there in time. Pina is also getting a little stuck up in there. Kess is trying her best to get in there as well, but it's going to take that secure. Enormous there from Kess. They can get to their goal zones. They're winning this game now, but Kess loses her shield pretty quickly. Slowbro is gonna go to the top lane and get that large 47. That's going to be a, what, 94 cap down there, and they're going to keep getting that in the bot lane there, too. But
yeah, this is gonna be big. There's gonna be 20 seconds left for a push here. UFF is in the lead, but they are gonna need to hold on to this goal for dear lives. 15 seconds, one score. This Venusaur, if they get their points in, this will be it. But here comes the Rings Unbound. Here we go. UFF is trying to hold on for dear life. Their tournament lives at stake, and we have goals going in. UFF is gonna win game number 2.
Incredible job to keep that hold in the last second, winning Ray at enormous secure there from Kess to win Rayquaza that late on in the game when it seemed like there was little to no chance of getting that out. An enormous, without a fire blast in there from Kess to grab it. Great way to keep their game alive, and then insanely well done from Joe and Rapid to make sure that no extra points get put into that second tier after losing that first one on the bot lane, and did not let that Venusaur get that extra 40 or 80 points, excuse me, to win that game for TT. But UFF still alive in here. We love to see it.
Wow, what a crazy turn of events there. You saw just both teams trading back and forth on the KOs, and UFF obviously going into that Ray fight with a huge lead was absolutely clutch because TT, they were able to get a ton of counter scores after that Ray goes to the side of UFF. We saw the crossing beams of Pina and the Venusaur, but it was Kess with that huge Tail Fox secure, and wow. Not even close. Yeah, we weren't nervous at all.
No, yeah,
not even a little bit.
What are you talking about? That wasn't anything.
It wasn't even close.
No.
It's totally fine.
No, it's casual. No, but those are. You know what they say. Like that was that was easy. You know, like that's just Kess. Like it's just Kess. It's just we have no other way to explain it. It's just Kess. Sorry.
Yeah, the big secure, probably the play of the tournament so far, with the highest stakes possible, right? You lose that Ray, you probably go home. But their tournament lives are alive for at least one more game. Game 3 of TT versus UFF is going to go into this game number 3. Winner is going to move on. Loser is going to go home in the loser side bracket. Oh my gosh, that was spooky. Yeah, that was spooky. I was a little scared. I'm not okay. I know I said I wasn't nervous. That was a lie. I was a little nervous.
Yeah, I mean that's what we call in the competitive world clutch. That was an incredibly well timed move in there to take that game and keep themselves alive in here, and we love seeing the girls get that that late. And we got that insider information from Coach Taco Bra, saying that there is a on the UFF side it is a Buzz Blast ban, and on the TT side we have a Umbreon Leafeon ban. So Evolution's getting hard targeted at the current moment, which is
good.
Something that we wish was said when a patch drops, but you know. Just a little. Just a little bit. I can't like they're listen. All I'm saying is they're trying to make a full evolution game. Watch them drop a singular Eevee character that has like adaptability as like a passive, and it's stupid, and then they break it, and then it's gonna be awesome.
Wait, the Eevees aren't broken?
Oh no, they
are. This is news. This is news. Even more broken.
Break.
Eevee fans are eating well. That is
Eevee fans
for
are eating
sure.
well, and we need to take them, and we need to take their food. They, if Eevee fans are eating well right now, they must starve. That's what I'm saying. Unless it's a Vaporeon, I love Vaporeon or Jolteon.
Did you?
They can't break them. They're fine.
Yeah,
they're cool. I like those guys.
But did you know? I don't know what I was gonna say.
I didn't know that actually, Kyle. Those are things I have no idea about. Would you care to elaborate? Actually,
Well, Vaporeon has access to acid armor.
don't you dare! Stop it! We are not. No. That is. You have lost your privileges. Mute him. Mute him right now.
In terms of Pokemon and Ed.
Mons, mute him. Please. Please. No, but
Incinerate Kyle.
at some point they will put all the evolutions in the game, and I know they will. It's just depending on like what they want to do with Jolteon, Flareon, and Vaporeon.
Yeah, I would love to see Vaporeon as like a supporter. I could see it being either a supporter or a defender. I would love it to be more of a supporter, maybe like doing. I'm not sure exactly how they would format it. Obviously, it is very tanky in VGC and everything else, but I could see it being a supporter. I say that as like fully biased though.
What I would like is and before I say this, chat, calm down. I'm saying this as an actual like idea, not because I'm gross like this guy. I'm saying acid armor as like a debuff, acid armor or aqua ring as like either a buff to defenses or as a like kind of like turret that heals. And then I would think like maybe muddy water for like slow support or something like that, and then like maybe like ice beam or something or icy wind. I think those would be a pretty good moveset. I know for a fact though, when they put Jolteon in the game, they're probably gonna make him an attacker and they're gonna give him pin missile and it's gonna do the exact same thing as Icicle Spear and it's gonna piss me off.
Yeah, I could also see them giving it like maybe like a bubble beam, which would like debuff your opponent. Like lower their attack. I think that would be pretty cool. Because we don't have a whole lot of supporters that interact with the enemy team, like lower their attack or lower their stuff. So that would be kind of cool. Why did the word bubble beam make my brain go burr? Bubble beam. Bubble beam.
Bubble beam. Bubble beam. Bubble beam. Oh god! I just gave somebody a Pokemon parody of fucking whatever that song is.
I'm a Bee by Black Eyed Peas.
It's not what I was thinking. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Bubble beam, bubble beam, bubble beam. Bubble beam rocking like this. What? Crunches has had enough of our shit. Crunches she's had it up to here. I'm surprised that I don't even know if I'm gonna be invited to Customs next week.
Yeah, are we out of jobs now?
I think we're gonna be out of jobs by the end of this.
Are we gonna have to catch the unemployment line?
Here we go.
Disappointed mom era.
We have a match, Bounce. We got a match. Goodness. We got a match.
And now we actually talk about a video game, you know?
Oh right, we got a Glaceon, an Owl. I like this team comp on the side of UFF. This seems like a really strong comp. We got the Meowscarada that's going to go on this top path along with Joe on that Blissey. And I love Pina on the Decidueye. I love Kessa on the Glaceon. And then I've said it many times. I love Crustle right now. I think this is going to be a really strong match for UFF.
Yeah, I very much like the Decidueye pick. There's a lot of things on TT that don't very much enjoy being sniped at from a distance and being slowed by that arrow at the same time. And obviously Rapid's been running this Crustle basically all day, if I remember correctly, and I don't really see much of a reason to not, because she's doing very well with it.
Yeah, she's been running a lot of Crustle, a lot of Trevenant. Pina able to get a couple of bits of stacks in there. And Rapid's been doing a really good job with these last hits on the secures. As I say that, it's actually Bulbasaur that steals an Indeedee on this from UFF. But looks like UFF able to get that neutral Indeedee away from TT.
And the situation's going to kind of be reset on the bot lane, but on the top lane, Slepa getting knocked a little bit by a lot of that Psy Shock incoming. Moon Baby becomes Moon Lady and starts running around with those with that Moonlight up. And TT back up to full health with basically everybody. And I say that now being the truth and not lying this time.
Yeah, don't lie. This Lucario, this Anubis Lucario, able to do some damage here, using that power up punch build, getting another stack in. So something to watch out for if your UFF is this Lucario and the amount of scaling that it has, especially if they're able to get all of their stacks in. Those power up punches hit really strong, and obviously another really strong secure tool is that power punch. Meowscarada, oof. Almost getting caught out there by that Luca again, but 8-minute birds are going to be spawning in that central area. But looks like Slepa is looking to maybe get another stack and going to be able to do that for free 99.
Yeah, it looks like Clefable is really starting to be a problem in there for UFF, and notably so because Clefable just absolutely can carry these characters who are
Wow.
retreating back in there. And already we have a goal break on the bot lane. Was it a 5 push down there?
Yeah, all 5 members are pushing. It's like you said, a little bit early. Pina was trying to get some stacks in there. She was able to get a significant amount of stacks in there, so it goes down, but it's not for nothing. But yeah, a little bit of an early break there for TT as Rapid tries to salvage some of those neutral birds, but UFF, I don't think they're going to try to go for this basement, Reggie. They're just maybe going to try to stall some time, allowing them to kind of take that top lane path, and that's exactly what I think Rapid is doing here.
Yeah, Venu is gonna start pulling that on the bot lane. Rapid's just kind of hanging out there. But at the top, it's going to be Kess and Slepa taking out that Regieleki and instantly pocketing on towards this, on towards that Lucario on the bot lane. Rapid
Oh,
tries to get that up there, but can't quite get that. Slowbro's gone with telekinesis in this game, and that's a scary move in the right hands, even though it's definitely not preferred by a lot of people.
yeah, and here we go. Bottom path, tier 2 goal. It's going to be get sieged by TT. They are going to try to get that, and they're able to get some dunks in that bottom path. UFF is going to try to defend that because there's still 4 members down there. Yeah, they get a good 50 points in that tier 2 goal. It's not really what you want, but Verdant Anger comes out, gets connected onto Crustal and Glaceon, both going down there. Big amount of XP there for Venusaur as they utilize their Unite move.
Yeah, I mean that is a dangerous scenario to be in, and the block off was the right thing to do. Just they couldn't get to there in time and follow up on it before Venu popped that big old the seed popping through and spreading out and knocking out 2 Pokemon there.
Yeah, 146, 109, 530 mark. We're going to get some timers on these next set of objectives in just a couple of seconds here. But it's UFF that's looking to maybe make a push towards this tier 2 goal of TT. And they find the Lucario, who's a little bit out of position. Clef with a nice peel, giving some heals. And UFF realizes that. And they're going to have to back up here. Venusaur is using that green berry. Oh, nice eject play by Kess. Avoids that big solar beam and that the Lucario with the close combat is going to be a bit of a problem if they're not able to stay away from those. But ooh, Floral Flourish into the enemy team gets a KO on that Clefable. So their healer and their Venus are both down here as this top objective spawns.
Yeah, and the girls are gonna want to take advantage of this the lower numbers in there to try to take this out very quickly, as they do with the very quick secure there from Pina, and starting to track down these members of TT, but they do in fact get away. They're gonna start pushing down on this Regieleki, trying to catch it in there, and it looks like there's gonna be a lot of rotation starting to move down towards that bottom Reggie. I didn't hear it, so I can't tell you which one it is, but either way, it's a Reggie Ice down there, and they're gonna want to keep this XP for themselves and not let anybody get too far away from them.
Yeah, it's actually Lucario that's solo defending that Regieleki from going in. 4 members down here for TT, and 1 member down. It's that Blissey that goes down at Jomiao. But we have a Rubble Rouser that comes out, and we're looking to maybe get a secure here, and it's actually the
Big
Crustal.
grab.
We had a Venusaur Beam, a Spirit Shackle, but I believe it was a basic attack from Crustal that gets the secure for UFF. That's a bit of a big
I believe it was X Scissor. I think it was an X Scissor that got it.
Was it the scissor?
Regardless of what it was, that is a Crustal grab in that. And looks like
Scissor
Venusaur
me timbers.
oh my god. If I could see Crunches, I assume her head is in her hands at the moment.
She's just shaking. She's just shaking her head.
Ah,
She's
as
again,
she
had
should. She should be disappointed in you. Anyways, since then, it looks like the teams are still at relatively even, and it looks like Rap's gonna grab a little bit more towards that and get lifted into the air. And
Yeah.
everyone's running after her now.
Yeah, Pina with a little bit of appeal, trying to do some damage to kind of help with that. A nice grab with the telekinesis on the bro. It's Bummer as Rapid gets KO'd by that Surf. And UFF holding on here, 159 to 188 at the 240 mark. We do have a Regieleki that is going to be spawning in this top half. Could push into this tier 2 goal if they do elect to do so. Jomiao doing a good job of zoning out this Lucario, who's looking to maybe get a KO onto this lead or onto the Glaceon, but the passive saves Glaceon from getting knocked up. It's the Solar Beam that goes onto them though, and a nice little bit of defense from Crustal helping save Kess there, and KO Streak at 2 for Pina, getting 3 members down for TT. This might be the time to go. 4 members down here, 2-9. We have 5 members down, and they're going to start heading toward this Rayquaza, and they're going to have a bit of time is UFF before this Gardevoir comes in, and this might be a time to turn and burn. We got a knock. Who's there? It's Decidueye opening the fight with this Unite move, and it is down. We have a secure.
It's secure from Joe. It's a Joe secure. Holy,
let's go.
Big egg incoming. We're making omelets. We're making eggs Benedict. We're making scrambled eggs. Regardless of what it is, that egg is getting in there and it's making something happen. And UFF are going to go on and take this game 2-3. I can't remember which one it is, but I'm so excited. Oh my goodness.
What a clutch play by Pina in that top path at that Regieleki fight, hitting some absolutely massive arrows there, and UFF 412 to 188. The game is not over, but it's looking really good for the girls here. They're just gonna have to make one final defensive stand, and if they're able to do that, they're moving right on. But huge Regieleki fight there. They're going to be able to give up this tier 1 goal, so that's what I think exactly what Rapid is going to do. They're still up by a little bit less than 200, so they are going to have to hold on to these tier 2 goals, but 45 seconds left. They have all 5 members up here.
Yeah, but just statistically, and just in general statistically, they don't have the numbers, especially when they get knocked out like that from Slowbro, and there's a ton of Icicle Spears going in towards Lucario. Lucario going down as well. 2 down here, 3 down here for TT, and it's gonna be 4 down. What the heck? Wait, whoa, what? Oh, Clefairy flew into the air.
Yeah, we had a Wonder Wish rolls the fly. We have 4 members down for TT, and it's actually going to be a 5th, and UFF is going to go on to round number 3 of this losers bracket.
You spin in there, Pina. You spin in there.
Let's go, girls, as Shania Twain would say. We got some spinning. We're spinning to win. And UFF, we love to see that.
Oh my
We love to see it.
Incredible there from UFF. The spatial awareness as well, like even with the amount of the time left on their respawn clocks for TT, and being aware of the time that they had to get that ult off and then instantly secure that. Wow, incredibly well done.
Yeah, you saw it right there. TT. They stuck their hand in the cookie jar and they got caught with their pants down, because holy cow, they had all 5 members go down right before Ray. Crunches is again giving me the face of shame, unfortunately, for TT. I think their run on this is over. UFF is going to go on, but GG's all around. GG's Chopper. Really well played there, my friend. Hopefully we get to cast soon.
My
But yeah,
goodness.
UFF is going to go on. They are remaining alive as long as possible. A couple of very scary moments for them, but they're moving on. Bounce.
Yeah,
What a
I
game.
mean, like that. Wow. Wow. I mean, I still keep falling back to this, like that Pence at the end there, or the team wipe at the end, and I I know other players would think, well, we don't have the time for this. We acted a little too late, but that like instant Decidueye ultimate to knock as much health as
Hmm.
possible, and having 3 or 4 members ready to throw out their secure moves, and going to Joe Meow of all people with the Blissey secure. I know Daenerys out here thinking, oh, I like Blissey.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
secures. We love
We
to
have
see it.
Joe the goat. We have Joe the goat saying, "Can I offer you Rayquaza an egg in this trying time?" Gets the secure, and they're moving on. That's absolutely huge. So GG's to Team TT and Chopper. Some really close games. We'll see. I'm taking a look at the bracket, exclamation point bracket, if you want to follow along with where the team is in this loser side of the bracket. But they're going to be moving on, and they are going to be playing. I'm trying to find UFF here. They're going to be playing Umbra Vulpium, who
Umbra
just took out
Vulpium.
Umbra Vulpium is the next one.
Is that the brand new Borderlands villain? Like, my God.
Maybe. Maybe. But yeah,
Holy.
they're moving on. So their tournament life is still alive here in losers round number 3. I guess they are. They're queued up. They're making the lobby now. Very exciting. Holy cow, Bounce. I don't know about you,
Oh my
but we've had
goodness.
some really crazy games today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
UF. Let's just be honest. Like that last game, UFF secures were just insanely on point. from from the bottom trio to the Regieleki up top, and oh my goodness,
Mm-hmm.
both those race secures in the last 2 games were perfectly timed to grab those 2 wins.
Absolutely. Yeah, maybe we take a quick like couple minute break, but while we wait for the timer to go up. But yeah, we'll be back here in just a couple of minutes because obviously they are going to be queuing up very shortly. Like 3 minutes until we're able to watch. But we will catch y'all on the flip side, and we'll be back with game number 1 of Unite Femme Fatales versus Umbra Vulpium. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back, Pokemon Unite trainers. We just had. I hope everybody is having a good day. We're having a great day over here on Pandicorn Gaming. We are watching UCS March Cup qualifiers, and we just have one team left, and it is UFF. The fantastic ladies are fighting their way through the loser side of the bracket. We just saw a thrilling 3-game match against Team TT. Huge W. They're going to be taking on their next match. And we're almost ready for the action. With me, I'm SteelAgentKyle. We have Bounce with me.
Hello, gamers. Yeah, I mean, so I put my glasses on because I needed to see the action better. Because we have been seeing some very close secures that we have been losing track of what's happening. There's so much going on, and UFF are taking secures left and right over here.
Yeah, they're playing really well. There's just so much synergy with this team right now. You could kind of tell, over the last couple, months, weeks, there's just kind of been a shift in how they've been playing, and I think a lot of that is to just kind of getting more comfortable with each other, figuring out, what's their play style, what they're strong with, and I don't know. I think also this new ban pick format where you're banning 4 Pokemon out of each match is also kind of giving them a little bit of an advantage too. So we're going to be seeing what they're able to do here. They're going to be playing Umbra, Volpium, UV. I don't know if we want to. I'm going to forget how to pronounce that so many times. So maybe I'm just going to call them Team UV.
I'm just gonna call them Umbra. But
Umbra?
yeah,
Umbra?
yeah. But
Okay.
we do have
Umbra.
the from what we know at the current moment, UFF banned Buzzwole and Glaceon again. UFF hating the big man today. You know what? And good. It's Women's History Month. Deserved. And Sylveon and Umbreon being the bans for Umbra at the moment here. And we're gonna pop right into it as we have all day so far. And looks like we got a lot of comfort picks in here, except for a little bit of a little interesting here from Cass. I
Let
see
her cook with that. Yeah, we got a little bit of a Dragonite going, and Pina is going to be
we got a
rocking
Danger
that
Noodle.
Venusaur. Yeah, we got the Danger Noodle.
Danger Noodle.
Yeah, Danger
Somebody-
Noodle at least for just like a little bit.
No,
But it'll eventually come in.
I'm literally gonna get up and hold my Dragonite to my chest just because I love that Pokemon. He's so little goober.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, we're back in our usual lanes. It seems like, and Slepa going with is that Slepa up there with the Blastoise pick on this one. No Speedster yet in here today, which very different than how UFF has been playing this entire UCS run so far.
Yeah, I wonder if kind of more of a tanky comp is kind of a call based on the fact that they're playing against an Inteleon, a Gardevoir, and a Leafeon. So much burst damage on the side of Team Umbra. That might have just caused the Squirtle pick. So definitely a little bit more of a tanky top lane, but it's not something that we've seen, or it is something that we've seen Slepa do in the past, but it looks like a lot, and most of those top birds do go over to the side of Team Umbra. They have a very strong early game. So it is going to be hard for the girls here in this early game, but once Dragonite gets online, fully expect the girls to kind of take advantage of that.
Yeah, the Dragonite has been a sleeper pick in Pokemon Unite for a couple of seasons now, and it definitely can go a little crazy if you pair it up with something that can keep it alive pretty well. But incoming UV with the Durizile secure right there, preventing another UFF farm piece from getting taken towards their side. And Joe and Slepa are kind of struggling to get those early levels on, but we do have Rapid getting up to level 5 and getting that Trevenant, but down goes Cass to what's his name, Durizile again, and
Drizzile, yeah. That's definitely rough. It's a big catch there for Drizzle, but now we have Kirlia and Crustal looking to push Pina, who's not quite evolved into the Ivysaur yet. Gardevoir able to get, or Kirlia, I guess, now able to get a couple KOs, but a big KO on the return. Does Cass get that Crustal? But right now, early game, 720 birds are up. This top goal is down, and UFF is struggling to keep up. And yeah, that Emerald 2-step is hitting the mark.
Yeah, and I was just dancing on Slepa's grave there, really. Like, already at half HP and already a couple levels down, and they're starting to just pull straight into their jungle now. Level 9 over here with the with UV's Leafeon already, and that is pretty rough in there. And incoming more cross to play, and that is a huge Gardevoir play in there. And they're gonna break that second layer of goal zone pretty early on as well, within 4 minutes of this game. And UFF are struggling to get those levels to the same extent that UV have at the current moment.
Yeah, we have Inteleon on that Fell Stinger snipe shot, able to do a bunch of damage. Now, Dragon Knight is using that extreme speed to try to catch this Crustal, but Crustal able to scoot on out of here. And it's Team UV that's absolutely starting to take advantage of their level lead. They get the Basement Reggie, now they get the Regieleki, and that's going to push towards this tier 2 goal of UFF. And they're going to have to be careful because there's no jump pad up and available for UFF. So they're going to have to defend this because it is all 5 members of UV that are pushing this goal in this Regieleki. And huge wood hammer, though, from Rapid, able to do a ton of damage. But it's not enough because this Inteleon is doing some huge snipe shots into UFF. And, now this goal is gone.
Rough. Yeah, I mean, letting snipe shot, or not necessarily letting, but having a snipe shot as like that pressure in the back line is super hard for what UFF have at the current moment. Because if Clefable eats it, that's like that's a good amount of chunk of HP gone. And they're just waiting in bushes trying to get the secures while they're going for their buffs. And that's kind of been what the story has been of this game, where UFF just hasn't been able to grab their level up areas and their farm and get to the point where they can consistently contend with UV in like the fighting standpoint.
Yeah, they're gonna need something here. They're gonna need to find any little bit of XP, and that's what they're trying to do here on this top path. Dragon Knight is going in with that extreme speed outrage build. If they're able to maybe KO this goal, that might help them get a little bit of space. They do leave that on 1, so they're setting themselves up for a decent overcap here, but it's Solar Blade that's doing a bit of damage, and we got the Emerald 2-step and Phantom Forest coming out as Unite moves. Crustal with that X Scissor does a ton of damage, but UFF is holding strong. That Clefable is putting in overtime and getting a ton of healing in, and that's exactly what they needed. They got a bit of a pick there. Does UFF? They unfortunately do lose that Basement Reggie, but they're setting up nicely for maybe a top Regieleki push.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate thing about having such a level disparity, is that you can't necessarily, you can, as UV, you can split your team up and still have somewhat of a success, because you're still high enough level that you can do enough damage to either pick somebody off like they did with Kess, or if they lose the fight, they still have players on the bot lane doing something else. Just like right now, they're doing a 4v5 push. They got that pick on Venusaur, and Crustal is already starting to flank up this way from the jungle in here, and instantly puts up that wall up there, moving back into their jungle.
Yeah, that's something to watch out for, because Crustal is absolutely looking for maybe a pick off here. But something else to kind of watch out for is we're going to need UFF to maybe try to figure out a way to get to this Inteleon, because right now they haven't gotten a KO. Verdant Anger does come out, gets a couple KOs. That's a huge Solar Beam. Pina doing a ton of damage, and Trevenant pushing this Crustal away, and then we're going to have a little bit of reset before this beam is up again. Rebel Rouser comes out, gives Crustal a huge shield. Does just a huge amount of damage, and Clef again putting in the work to just keep the team alive, keep them healed. Nice Horn Leech pushes and gives them a little bit more space. Crustal is finally finally going to go down here. UFF lives to fight another day. 308 to 82 at the 230 mark. They're going to have to take this Regilecki off the map. They do just that, and it's going to come down to a Ray fight, right? Bounce. Like, looking at the levels across the board, it's not over, but it's looking pretty rough. 3 level 13s on the side of UV. Pina did tick into 13. Cass ticked into 12, and Blastoise also into 12. So they're not too far behind. But again, they are going to need, and luckily it's not a Registeel, because that would have been really tough for UFF to engage in any fight if they got that.
Yeah, and even just it being Reggie Ice is still pretty tough. And instantly Joe's gonna take half of her health bar from that one Solar Blade in there. Trying to bush check that area up there, but Leafeon is long gone. And
Yeah.
UFF are gonna start trying to push in here with UV waiting very patiently for the opportunity to pick somebody off, and just like that, but not being able to connect with that Solar Blade yet. And incoming another wall in there. Cass trying to finagle her way around and see if she can get a pick off of somebody. Incoming another Solar Blade. Blocked off from the rest of her team at 3 people inside of the Ray Pit. 3 ladies in the Ray Pit. And Rapid getting hit with another one of those, and there down
Oh,
goes
no.
there from the Size Shock, and in goes the Fairy Singularity, and Crustal's going to follow up on that, and Teleon is going to take that KO as well. That's 2 down for UFF. That's a 3rd as well in there. And Joe and Slepa being the only 2 alive, and instantly ulted again from an Emerald 2-step and a Rumble Rouser as well, while the Secure goes instantly off and takes out Slepa as well. That is a full team wipe on UFF, and UV is going to take that game number 1 over here.
Yeah, game 1 goes to Team UV. They did exactly what they needed to do. They kind of waited out that team fight, and they picked their poison. They were waiting to see if they could catch anybody out of position. They're able to get a nice crystal wall to separate the healer away from Cass on the Dragonite, and once they were able to separate that out, and Cass was kind of all by her lonesome, they get that pick, and that was pretty much it. They started to snowball and kind of all stuck together. And yeah, you're looking at the damage numbers. Egoist on that Leafeon 81k. Big numbers by Blue Kiro on that Inteleon. Able to pretty much, I think they only got KO'd 1 time that entire match. They were able to just kind of get shielded by that Crustal and that Blissey tanks. And yeah, their mages really were just able to stay healthy most of the time and just do a massive amounts of damage. Joe was doing her best to keep everybody topped up, and just not enough damage. Not enough dive on the girls to be able to get to the damage dealers, and just kind of a rough snowballing there from Team UV.
Yeah, I mean, it also was getting out secured as many times as it happened in the early game. It was definitely a huge mound to come back from. You got fully evolved Pokemon on UV's side, while not where we're either in the mid stages or not even in the mid stages on UFF side, and that if you start running away with the game that early on, especially with how fast they broke that first goal zone, it becomes a very difficult hill to climb back into. And especially because of how UV also pushed into either their territory, taking their farm, or into their jungle, taking their buffs. Our blue buff can only go so far, Kyle. Sometimes we don't want that, okay?
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I mean,
they took advantage for sure.
Yeah, and it can, that kind of snowballing is exactly how Pokemon Unite can become a runaway game.
Yeah, and they did kind of run away with that, but the girls have been in this position before, in just that last round against TT, but they're gonna have their work cut out for them. Game number 2, win or go home. They've been there before, but they came out victorious, 2 wins in a row. They just have to start off on the right foot in this match. Looks like we do have a Buzzwole and a Blastoise ban from UFF, and UV ended up banning Glaceon and Umbreon.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
I think pretty standard, right?
yeah, it's a pretty standard ban. I think what Pokemon Unite players really need to be able to do better is kind of do a little bit of scouting on their opponents sometimes. Just because there's a lot of Pokemon Unite teams that will ban similar Pokemon that the other team wants to be banned a lot, and that is consistent in UCS. It's consistent in Articuno League, and consistent in Weakness League. And I think that it's hard to do in this
Yeah.
stage of UCS, but I think if you get rid of a Pokemon that they also want to get rid of, you're wasting your
Hmm.
ban slot. And especially when it looks like they also want to ban Glaceon, that's a rough position to have, because you could have banned something that was that's scarier to the comp that you want to run in the current game, or scarier to the comp that they ran in their last game, or scarier to the comp that you lost to in your last game, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely something that you're able to do, especially more now with the way that the draft ban phase, or the draft ban phase has changed, right? So previous month we only had one ban each side, and sometimes that ban was the same ban. Now it's a little bit different. Now you have more Pokemon that you can ban, so you could be a little bit more creative. Where before you're pretty much banning if you're the team that gets to pick first, you're banning kind of what you think your opponent will pick second. But if you're picking first, your opponent's gonna have to pick the most broken Pokemon. That's usually how it was. In the Metagross meta, a lot of the teams that were picking second were banning the Metagross. Now with how things are, you get two on each side. You could be a little bit more creative, and I love it. I think as we get more Pokemon that get added to the fray, I think you're going to see additional bans. I think there's even potential to have three bans on each side eventually when the roster of Pokemon is a little bit larger, right? Right now, Articuno League, that's kind of what they do. They do six, so two in-game bans
Damn.
each side. Yeah, they did it before too. So they had
Wow.
it where it was two bans on each side and then the in-game ban.
No, I mean,
Um,
actually, I think that's a great idea, actually, because there's
yeah.
the consistent rising of like the roster number is going to it's just hard to keep that two ban once your roster becomes
Hmm.
enormous. Like Rainbow Six Siege had a two ban system for a long time. I'm not sure if they still have it, but they have just like they're nearing that 100 operator slot. So like 50 on attack, 50 on defense, and it just becomes a little bit irrelevant when you have like multiple Pokemon or multiple characters in a game that do the same thing, but one is significantly better, but the other one's still not bad, you know?
Hmm. We have a match. Slepa. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have the match available, or at least we should. Um, there we go. We're gonna be
Holy
getting on
Slipper.
into it. So let's get onto it. Game number 2, UFFV versus Team UV. Pretty similar, or pretty similar comp to what we've seen from the girls. Throughout this, we're gonna have that Leafeon with Slepa in this top lane. Pina gonna go back to that Bulbasaur, but this time Rapid is gonna be rocking. Is still with that Trevenant. A little bit different. We have a Cinder Ace and a Metagross on the side of Team UV. So a couple Pokemon that we really haven't seen today.
Yeah, it looks like that Chansey's gonna aid that Beldum into getting into Matang territory. But Rapid's gonna run directly in there and grab a first stack because she's just like that, actually. So we're taking that, and it's a little bit of a flurry down here now with UFF and UV Charles. It's what that says is trying to support this,
Mm-hmm.
but they're diving in on that on the Sobble at the current moment, but nothing really coming in from here. A little bit of stunning in here or there, but Bulbasaur still threatening there. Pina going back to the Venu.
Yeah.
I very much like that pick, especially to contest with Inteleon. Because if you spot that Inteleon, you know where it is, and if you're a good enough Vino player, we know Pina is, she's going to be knocking
Ooh.
that little guy off his perch.
Yeah, that was a huge Solar Blade catching that Blissey, who was trying to get back to base, unable to do so because Leppa is just that way with that blade. But yeah, 820. Kind of a little bit of trading in both lanes. No one really gaining really any bit of an advantage one way or another. It's still only 2-0, but this Beldum it gets locked on and has to use their XP to get it out, because otherwise that Solar Blade was going to come back and she's going to bonk that Beldum right on the head and get the KO. But they're pushing this goal, and I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get it, and they realize that they back out, going to just try to take some of this farm and get level, because we have 8-minute birds here in the center.
8-minute birds. But yeah, Beldum, if you don't level up quick with Beldum in that lane, it's going to be a lot more difficult to take that on, especially with a speedster directly in that lane as well. But we got Cinder running into this jungle area with a little bit of swifty movement in here to knock out Pina, knocks out Kess as well, and they're just gonna start chasing down Clefable in here. Not quite getting that KO on Rizal, but there is the wall there, and Slepa's just gonna walk straight through it and say, that doesn't do anything to me. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate turn of events for UFF. That Cinder Ace has gotten online using that Blaze Kick to weave in and out of the team. You just saw them. That Cinder Ace really outplay them there. Pina used the eject button to try to get it, but Cinder just used that Blaze Kick to reposition. It's going to be tough to deal with if this Cinder is as good as they've been in this early game, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're going to try to rip this Registeel that has joined the fray. Pina does have the beam.
Huge!
Gets the secure. Wow, she just walked right in and just stole that right from under the nose of UV. That is a huge play for UFF.
Yeah, it's an enormously big. That's enormous early game secure in there, and you do not want to let this Matanga get to anything much out of that. And Clefable's going to run in there and come on, Joe! Joe! Come on!
Oh, wow. Yeah, do we get it? Slepa comes.
But regardless.
She's a downtown girl, gets the triple KO in this bot path. This Matang cleans up a KO of their own on Pina, but a big wood hammer stops them in their tracks. Are they going to be able to get out?
God,
Uses that gyro ball, gives themselves... They give themselves that shield with that gyro ball. It's a very small shield, and wow, they get that green berry with that speed, and wow, yeah, that is a 1 HP in a dream if I've ever seen one.
Wowee, yeah, that Magnet Rise saving Matang there, and this is why I think Matang is actually a pretty solid Pokemon even without being a level 9. It has the speed to get in and out, and especially if you run that gyro ball correctly. Incoming another big secure for Pina in here to get the second Reggie of the game with that ult. Insane from Pina. Oh my goodness, wow. Kyle.
Yeah, there are 3 things in life that are guaranteed. There's death, taxes, and Pina beam secures. She's going to continue to get them, and UFF is going to maybe try to push this tier 1 goal, but it's Bliss Assist that goes in onto the Metagross. We got the Beyblade Arena that's set up. They put it down, and they're just going to end up backing up because UFF does retreat just in the right amount of time.
Yeah, and they're having to spend a little bit of time killing that Aleki, but Aleki is now gone, and incoming the bot lane objective. And yeah, that is that's a Reggie rock down there. That's a enormously huge that's a big objective for this state of the game right now with that 4:30 to go at the current moment. Wow. Wow. we got a Metagross in the jungle of UFF at the current moment, and they start tracking them down, but they're gonna go down there and secure that UV as well, and that's gonna get them a little bit of that push to get in here. The fireworks are in fact up in there, and there is a huge there's a huge KO there. There's a second huge KO there. Big snipes there from Inteleon, and Cass is getting run down by this Blaze Kick. And incoming Venusaur. Is that grabbing 2? Is that grabbing just the? Is that 2 or is that 1? That's only 1.
It's just 1. Leafy was able to get. Yep, Leafy was able to get another to kind of clean it up. Uses that Emerald two steps, gets a second, and they're gonna have to try to maybe get away from this Crustle, who's now gonna have this Rock Tomb cooldown back up. They just miss it. A nice eject play by Slepa gets them out of dodge, and here comes Rapid. Gives it. They
What?
end up giving Slepa that Resonant Guard shield. Are they gonna be able to get this Crustle? Use that Wood Hammer, and they turn around, reverse Uno with that X Scissor, and Rapid not going to be able to get out of this one, I don't think, because we got Blissey and Metagross that is just mashing into them, and that's exactly it. It is 143 to 144 here, 3:10 left on the clock, and looks like UV is making a push towards this tier 2 on the basement side.
Yeah, at this point now, you probably won't see too many ultimates get popped here. And Metagross is going to start moving back towards that top, backing in that bush, or... Hello? Is he backing in the bush? No, I guess not. Just sitting in that bush, but at the top, Yuvi's gonna secure that Reggie Lecky. Egoist is just gonna kind of sit here and waited for the push to go back up to that top lane, getting that 46 score at the bottom corner. A little confusing because I feel like that if you pushed that with Metagross, you might have had a better chance of this Lecky hitting. But regardless, back into their jungle, he goes, and UFF are going to start moving towards this moving towards the pit. Rayquaza up in 20 seconds. That Regirock is on the bot lane. I don't think anybody has time to get down there and rip it in within the next 15 seconds. But that would be impressive if they could.
Yeah, I think they're just going to hold off and draw their scrimmage lines. UFF is maybe looking to get a quick pick. There's no X speed for this scissor, or this X scissor Crustle. Oh, and that's actually a huge catch. Inteleon uses that snipe shot, catches Rapid, trying to maybe use that Horn Leech, gets caught by a wall, and we got the Ray fight that's going on. Rayquaza is going to be starting to get ripped off because this Cinder Ace is starting to hit it. So something the girls do have to be aware of is that Cinder does have the ability to just full rip it. Clefable trying to keep the girls topped off here with those Moonlight Healings. We have here comes a Verdant Anger. Big connection on the Solar Beam. Gets that Blissey. And the Rebel Rouser does a bit of damage. 2 members down for UFF, but it's 3 members down for UV. Slepa somehow, some way gets out of that after getting a KO streak of 2.
They're going to start trying to push that top of Venusaur. Is not going to let that happen. Pina's going to keep pushing it in there. We're expecting a big beam in there. There goes down Crustle there.
That's huge.
Now back to 2 now. Back to 1 actually. And it's only the Crustle down in there. And Joe's going to start spinning with that healing in there. And UFF looks like they're going to start pushing this and start ripping this Rayquaza in here. But here comes Metagross across the side behind them now. Pulling in that Gyro Ball there. It's a lot of shield in there. Getting caught by 2 of them in there.
Going low. It's going low. We're going to get a secure.
No, it's going to be somebody else. Who got it? It's going to be the Cinderace.
The
Cinderace again.
The Blazing Bicycle Kick gets the secure. UFF gets team wiped, and Team UV, they're going to be moving on, and unfortunately for our girls, their run in this March Cup qualifier is going to be coming to an end, but not without putting up a huge fight. It's some really good games there for the girls, and nothing to be scoffed at because UV, they played their hearts out. They played really well. They'll go on, but just an unfortunate turn of events for the girls.
Yeah, a little. It's gonna feel disappointing for any UFF fan out there, and it was sometimes that Ray Pit is not. It's honestly, when you're throwing so many things in there, it can get distracting. It can be a little bit of a. It can absolutely be a little bit of a luck thing, and the KO did not fall their way in this game, and unfortunately that's going to be the end of their run through this March qualifier bracket. But very good games all around to UV and to UFF.
Yeah, looking at the damage numbers, that Inteleon was rough, right? Like, they were able to, in both games, to kind of do exactly what they wanted. 90k damage in this game number 2. Getting some crucial catches in a few different spots, especially at that beginning of the Ray fight, getting Rapid. unfortunately gets clipped by the wall and then gets shot in the back. It's just a rough one. They definitely had a shot. There maybe a ray flip away from getting that, and unfortunately that Cinder timed it perfectly and caused the end of that one.
Yeah, it was literally neck and neck until that last Ray fight, and unfortunately, it did not go UFF's way, and that bicycle kick did take it in a very close manner there. And it's very rough, especially because Cinderace is not exactly what people expect to come up against in UCS. I think that's the first time I've ever actually seen it myself in a UCS match, and that Blaze Kick set was
Hmm.
running a lot of circles around UFF, either like running into their jungle or bouncing off them, like the big old feet that they had, and
Hmm.
can be a
Yeah.
difficult situation to deal with.
Yeah, I think we did see it once earlier. I think in maybe game one of the first round we saw the enemy team, but we know how that game went for the enemy team. But I think that was the only time we've seen it. So that Blaziken or not the Blaziken, that Cinderace played it really well. That was pretty impressive. Use of the Blaze Kick to kind of reposition themselves several different times. But I think all of us can say without a doubt that we're very proud of UFF. Really strong showing. Made it a little bit farther this round or this month than last month in the AOS Cup qualifiers. Couple of really just tough matches. Ones that could have really gone either way. But they'll be back. They'll be back for April Cup qualifiers, and then any other league that they decide to join along the way. But very proud of our girls.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and just let's
Mhm.
go. So the in overall, to anybody who has participated in UCS, proud of you. You did. I know that maybe you didn't do as well as you'd hoped to, but it's always a honorable effort to give towards something that you have passion for, and that goes to anybody out there playing UCS now, anybody
Mhm.
who's still in, anybody who's out, and especially because I'm playing favorites to our favorite to UCS team, Seven Deadly Sins and UFF. We are absolutely proud of you
Mhm.
here, and we hope you guys had as much fun as you possibly could and take the things you need to take to better yourselves in anything that you want to do.
Absolutely. And we're going to be ending on here in just a short couple of moments. We will be raiding on over to our good friend Draku-san. They are casting along with another big friend, the other official UFF caster. Ribbon
Ribbon.
Chew is over there, along with Kello. So we're going to go ahead and raid on them. Obviously, make sure to send some love. Use the Pandicorn raid message that you see in chat. Let's send them love. Let's go on and root on some of our favorite people in the community. Give them some love, and I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their Saturday with however you end up picking it. For all of us here at Pandicorn, let's give a big thank you to our backstage of Ninera and Crunches for kind of running the stream and the
Everybody
chat, and
clap.
then huge shout
Everybody
out
clap
for
right now.
Kimmy for running the observing work. So big shout out to everybody who kind of kept the show afloat, and then big shout out my friend Bounce, my amazing co-caster. So I hope everybody has a good night, and we will see you all very shortly.